All right, we are now recording. We are back again with another episode of Not With That Attitude podcast.
It's like, we did it. We fucking did it. We're here. We're sorry we're
Finally
so
in
late,
episode
but we're
2.
here.
We were waiting on some slackers, but it's fine.
Right?
Hey, I got a new job. It ain't even my fault. Ain't my fault or my problem. Fuck you.
Right.
You
So-
say that, but somebody doesn't have an icon in the server.
Mhm.
So now we're having some fun topics
What
today.
is
We're
that?
doing an animal theme.
Yay!
You know what? Fine. We'll start off
Yay.
with pet owner stereotypes. All right, so hear me out, Pibble mommies.
I don't like the way your voice lowered when you said that.
He does it all the time.
As somebody who has a pit bull and has had a pit bull that's definitely a lot more hot than the pit bull I have now, they are such a danger to like the bully breed in general. Like
Right.
everything that has bull in it: bull, mastiff bull, terrier, American bull, dog, Staffordshire bull terrier, American Staffordshire terrier,
Mhm.
and pit bull. They are so detrimental to that fucking breed.
Right.
Everybody else that likes their type of dog, every other fucking dickhead out there is like, oh, I love Labradors, haha, they eat all the time.
Yeah,
Everybody
right.
knows they eat all the time. It's
Everybody
fine, you
acknowledges,
just
like,
don't feed
that
them
stuff.
loads. Everybody acknowledges that German Shepherds can be nervy and protective and a little bit possessive. Everybody does that. Not one fucking pibble mummy in their life will ever admit to the fact that their dog is predisposed to not like other dogs. And it's not even like
Right.
it's a fucking massive problem. It just means you don't take it to a dog park or a dog-friendly bar.
Yeah,
Or, let it run off the street with no fucking collar and leash on.
basically.
It's not hard. I don't get it. They're like, oh, my baby would never rip your child's arms off. And it's like,
Yeah, it's like you wonder where all the memes
That
come
would-
from of like Princess the
Yeah.
Pitbull versus the
Cupcake would
toddlers.
never. That's like a problem in and of itself, though. I mean, backyard breeding, you're not supposed to have. Pit bulls aren't supposed to be human aggressive
Right,
at
they
all.
never-
But
well,
in
the
every.
entire point of them, they were bred specifically to never bite a human, even when they
You're
in the
right.
middle of ripping each other's throats out in the pit. Like so.
You should be able to, if it was old age and you're fighting your pit bulls, you should be able to reach into the ring,
Right.
pick up your pit bull, and then take it home and put it in your living room with your 3-year-old or your 5-year-old or
And you would
whatever,
just
and
cuddle
know
that
that this
child,
dog is not
and
going to
that's
kill.
it.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
Had an
definitely
off
the kind of
switch.
dog, obviously they're not fucking nanny dogs, but they would definitely be one of the closest things because of how human friendly they just were and good with kids.
Yeah, like they're
Yeah.
super tolerant. They're supposed to be very human tolerant, very friendly, very, soft with people. Absolute demons in the ring, but otherwise very well managed.
Right.
Along with every other walk of life, though, there's always one dickhead that ruins it. And the one I'd like to point out will be the owner and breeder of
Yep.
the Bit,
Well,
the very famous pit bull, who should not have been bred and should not have really even existed. She was one of the most famously known pit bulls, purebred pit bulls, who were extremely human aggressive for
Oh,
absolutely
boy.
no reason. She
Mm.
just came out like that.
yep.
But because she was not completely awful in the ring, they still bred from her. So all of her kids were also human aggressive. And I
Yep.
think a few of them were put down for it.
Oh boy.
But people generally don't seem to understand that, pit bulls don't have to be insanely hyper aggressive,
Right.
even towards other dogs constantly, even when they show them. Like, they spar them. Which isn't like, they don't fight, they just stand them near each other, and
Right,
the dog's
and
kind of
that's
like,
typical
it's like they're
terrier
talking
thing
shit
in
to each
general.
other. They're like, fuck you, bitch! And the other dog's
Right.
like, no, fuck you, bitch! It's just that. Like,
Yeah.
it's just that shit. It's fun. Like, it's a terrier behavior. They do
Right.
it in loads of other terrier. Even
Yeah, they-
chihuahuas can be sparred, that I
Right.
learned recently.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah, like I.
But
yeah,
pit bull
I-
mummies just fucking ruin it. They get these powerhouse dogs
Right,
that
they're like
live up to
poorly
their
bred as
breed
shit.
type.
Have had some
You're
level
right.
of like human aggression in their background, and are definitely going to be dog
Human
aggressive
aggression, and
eventually.
then you've got the whole, because they're being owned by idiots that don't understand what they have. They're not
Right.
training and managing and socializing properly in a way that would set them up for success. They just keep putting these pit bulls in, like, they basically just throw them into like a playground and go, sure would be a shame if you ate the kids, and then the dog gets overstimulated and all these kids are running around and he's like, oh my god, snacks. And then you have this woman going, I just didn't think Cupcake would be the type, and it's like, bitch, be so fucking for real. Please. Be so
The
fucking
name,
for
though.
real.
Right. And see, that's the thing too, is like Oh my god. So the funny thing too is like how it's all like when they're dog aggressive too. It's like that's also something you can just manage and people never try to. They just see their puppy, their straight up puppy getting along with other dogs, as a puppy would do, and think that means that's going to be for life. And it's like,
Yeah.
even some of the most social breeds out there, they're not always going to be just straight.
Yeah, you're gonna have
social.
outliers. Yeah, you're gonna have outliers all the time. Yeah.
Yep.
And generally, dogs grow up and they don't. In breeds that aren't necessarily dog aggressive, they don't become dog aggressive. They just become a lot less tolerant of bouncy,
Yeah.
rude behaviors, which is completely. It's the same as fucking people. Like I was definitely a lot more tolerant when I was a child.
Right.
I'm 27 now. I don't play that shit anymore.
Right? Like if
Hey,
you're like you're
27, the world is waged down, and like, oh, you're just done.
right? So like,
I'm
it's
jaded.
like- It's funny because like adult, all these old timer like dog owners, like, oh yeah, well, he keeps snapping other dogs and stuff that are all in his face. Like, well, would you like it if people did that to you? Like, and then like I've had people where clients who have been like, I don't know why they do it. It's like I just want them to be friends. It's like that's the thing. You shouldn't force your dog to be friends with every other dog. Especially
Right.
now when they're jumping all over their face. So I would go up to those clients, just no word at all, and start just gently slapping their face and shit.
Oh my God.
It's like, and I would be like, "See, did you like that?" And they're like, "No." And it's like, "Well, why do you think your dog doesn't like it too?" And then they have that like epiphany.
It's like,
That's a good
what?
They just have
Do
this
some
like,
people in real life.
awakening, basically.
Right.
I don't understand as well why people get so obsessed with when their dog starts, expressing aggressive behaviors or whatever. I don't understand the need that they have to stop the behavior entirely.
Right. It's like,
It is so hard to stop behaviors, but it is so easy to manage them and
Right.
redirect them.
Mhm.
I don't understand why they're like, oh, I'd rather climb
Because-
up this 100,000-foot cliff than walk up a set of stairs. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
But it's because they don't want to deal with it full sail. Like, they don't want to deal with it at all.
They want that quick, easy fix. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
pay trainer, fix problem for me now. Ah.
But they don't realize that it's not a
fix.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna pay, what's that guy's name? Dog Daddy to come and like beat my dog in
Oh
his
yeah,
submission.
right. Fucking no, my god.
Like, oh my god, you've done what I could never do. Taken a pole to my dog's face.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Like, I manage Harley's shit fairly well. I don't put him in situations that I know that he wouldn't enjoy. And if we happen to turn a corner and there's a dog there, then it just means I ask him to pay attention to me, and he pays attention to me. And then we fuck around and go do something else. It's easy. It doesn't mean that I'm like, a dog comes around the corner and I'm like, oh no! Stay back!
Right.
Don't come towards us, he'll kill you and your dog, and then he'll go to your house and fuck your wife. Like,
Yeah,
I just kind of don't get in those situations. It's easy.
right.
Stay calm, do something else.
Yeah,
It's
right.
not
Just
hard.
Don't react basically, or else the dog will react. Like like Junie, like she had been attacked several times on leash in the past, so she developed really bad leash reactivity. Then of course she eventually just became dog selective over time, but again, typical dog stuff these days, as it is, especially being part terrier. But
Oh yeah.
it's like eventually she reached a point where like just because like I just kept calm and like didn't like react every single time a fucking dog came over, I'm just like, all right, let's go, and just keep moving and stuff. Like I would just tell people like, oh yeah, no, she's dog selective and stuff, and most of them would listen. Others would have to learn the fun way. We got this fucking old lady
Yeah.
one time had this in her little like one of those crusty white dogs. She's like, oh, well, she's wagging her tail. It's like wagging tail doesn't always mean friendly. And then like Junie straight up bit her dog. I'm like, yeah, how'd that feel, bitch? And then I walked away, and I said it too.
Of course you did. Ay, ay, ay.
On the
Oh,
topic of
jeez.
stereotypes,
Speaking of-
I'd like to offer a very specific one, but one I think that we'll all understand.
Oh.
So picture this. A human being, generally around the age of 22 to 28,
Yep.
usually white people in this age, mostly female, but can be a straight couple or a gay couple.
Yep.
Hello. Sorry, Harley decided that he wants to be on the podcast. But anyway, so in addition to that, they are absolute gym rats, but only in the way that they go running on the treadmill. They don't lift or anything. They don't have any strength. It's fine. They just go running. Everybody has their thing.
Yeah.
And then they decide, we've moved out together. We're in our first flat, but we don't want a child yet. What kind of dog should we get? And then they come home with the worst bred, 5,000 to 6,000 pound in cost cockapoo.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
And it normally 9 times out of 10 looks like fried chicken from the get-go. It's normally that deep red color.
Yep.
And they have it for about, they normally get it at like fucking 6 weeks, because why not? And they have it for about 3 weeks, the amount of time it takes for the dog to get comfortable and come out of its shell, because it's already been born with more anxiety than me and MZ could put together. Across the
Way to
span
call
of our
me out.
entire lifetime. It's too late. And then the anxiety fades because now it trusts these people, and it turns into a fucking crackhead.
Right.
Yep.
It destroys shit. It shits everywhere. It needs training. They can't train it because it's not interested in anything that they're offering, because they only offer things that provide immediate gratification.
Yep. You know what I hate?
It has no structure. They never groom it. And then when it comes back shaved down, bald as fuck with a hairline, they're like, oh my god, why did you do that to my dog?
Like, the fact that like almost perfectly matches this one like client I had on when I was doing dog sitting in Rhode Island. It was just like, but they were older. There was like this older lesbian couple, and they had the nerviest fucking cockapoo puppy ever. And it was like, oh my god.
Why is it always a cockapoo?
And the worst part is one of them was like, oh, well, I'm not sure if I really, want to go with you after all, because, you're not, going up and invading my dog's space, because that's what I think works. And, I explained to them and everything, so luckily I was able to get him to give me a chance, and that dog warmed up to me so fucking fast, because I just didn't invade the dog's space. I was probably the
That's
only
crazy.
person in
Imagine
that dog's
respecting
life.
an animal.
Right, I was the only person in that dog's life, I can guarantee it, that did not just go up and force myself on that dog, and that's why she liked me so much. And they were
I
so
hate
fucking
people like that
flabbergasted.
so
I'm like,
much.
yeah, that's what happens when you don't force a dog to have their just accept being invaded, their space invaded.
People like that are so fucking stupid. They're like, oh, I can't understand why my dog acts like it's scared of me. And then you watch them and they get in the dog's face and they shout at the dog and they chase the dog and they throw things. And it's like,
Right.
you're a fucking idiot. Like, the dog has no idea of what you're saying. So when you do these things, the dog has no idea of what you're fucking doing.
Right.
That's so fun. Just like any sort of doodle.
Right.
Just any doodle.
Bro, doodles are
fun.
nuts. They're literally the only breed of dog that I will actively try and avoid on the street, because they're either hyper friendly, hyper nervous and anxious, or they bite. And there's no
Right.
fucking in between. I have never met, in my entire life, I have never met a chilled out doodle.
Right.
No,
They're
never.
all
Never.
dickheads. Every day, each one of them gets up and eats meth. They photosynthesize. They are solar powered. It's so fucking. And why do they look like fried chicken? It pisses me off. No dog, even poodles don't look like fried chicken. Why do? It's because of the fucking. The fur that they have isn't quite as tight as a poodle curl, but it's not as loose as whatever else is that they're
Right.
mixed with. So they end up.
Well, at
with
least
fucking
mine's
fried
not-
chicken coat.
Mine's not fried chicken colored.
Yeah.
You have a doodle?
No.
A multi-poo.
Yeah.
Kill yourself. Anyway.
Honestly, I did not choose this dog. This dog was thrust upon me.
Is it Ron's dog?
No, it's
Yeah. It's
my
her mom's.
mom's and my
yeah.
little sister's.
Yeah. See,
Kill your mom and
MZ's
your
dog
little
was a
sister.
Labrador.
Yes, the one that I wanted was
dog.
the yellow lab.
Yeah, MZ at least
I'm
went
not
the
gonna lie,
tried
I
and
thought it
true
was gonna be
route.
Ron's.
Mhm.
If it was Ron's, I was just gonna be like, typical Ron.
Wasn't Ron's
Standard
dog
rat
the one who's
behavior.
dead now?
Yeah, both of his are dead.
Are they doodles?
No, well, his was a Bichon Jack Russell mix,
Yeah,
and then the
weirdest
other
mix
one
ever.
was the other one was some sort of beagle mix,
Ah.
and she was huge.
Well,
See, I
Girl
can
was-
speak mix, but the other one. In the
Girl was like over 100 pounds
oh
easy.
my gosh.
Damn.
I have
like,
no
she was
idea
fat,
what she was
big.
mixed with. She was fat.
Oh
She
yeah.
She
was
was-
mixed with an 18 wheeler, apparently. Not Dick laughing into his cup, bro. Perfect timing.
And I mean, I felt kind of bad because their names were Ricky and Lucy. Because, I love Lucy. And, I felt kind of bad for Lucy because Lucy died, like, out of the blue. She had some sort of... She started peeing blood.
Oh.
Mm.
And we had to go take her to the emergency vet and put her down. But, like, Ricky, on the other hand, Ricky fucking dragged that one out forever.
Yeah.
But, yeah, mixes, we have the grumpy old man who's black and white named Shadow. He is a pain in the ass, barks at literally everything, and has zoomies at random, even though he's like 16, 17. I'm like, can you just die already?
MZ said, I ain't even want you, bitch. Pass away.
But I don't. This dog
Go to
does
sleep
not like
permanently.
me.
Just permanently sleep for me, all right? It's time.
This
Why
dog
don't you
does
just
not
fucking
like me.
drop him off at Rory's house? I'm sure he'll shot.
You're right.
Moment he
I
breathes
would
in that
probably
air in
eat
their
him.
house, he'll, like, yeah, right.
Echo would probably eat him, or just sit on him and kill him that way. But
I remember the time, like, oh my god, we were out at that off-leash park, and, like, there's this tiny-ass little Yorkie, like, super cute, like, super friendly, thankfully, but, like, tiny ass, and Rory was, like, so ready for Echo to just eat that dog.
I could see that happening though.
Harley punched a chihuahua down a hill once.
That sounds like Harley.
I think he was like 6 or 7 months old. This is like long before he began developing the I hate other creatures gene.
Yep.
Back when he was still really, 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 really cute, like small and cute,
Yeah.
not
When he had
big
his
and
doggy
cute.
ears. This is a period of time where he had massive ears, massive paws, really long legs, kind of a barrel chest, but he had like a pinhead.
Okay.
Like his head didn't come in until he was like 3. I was so concerned. Like the first 3 years, I was like, "Are you gonna be this fucking ugly forever? Why are you the fuck?" It was bad. Like I have to try to find a photo at some point because where the muscle hadn't come in, it made his muzzle, like his snout, look longer than it actually is. So he kind of looked like his face was shaped kind of like a teardrop, but like upside down. But I thought he was gonna be fucking ugly forever. But yeah, I took him to the park and he was fucking around like with this woman's chihuahua, and she had like a Pomeranian mix as well. That was like just a giant Pomeranian. It was really cool. It was really nice dogs. They were just fucking around, and then the chihuahua was punching Harley, so Harley punched it back, but he punched it when we were at the top of a really steep hill. And the chihuahua had really little legs and like a really fat barrel body, so when it fell it couldn't like grip to get back up, so it just kept rolling. The whole way down it was like squeaking. And I was but because it was squeaking, Harley was like, "Oh my god, this is the best.
It's a new toy."
Ever."
You're right,
Yeah,
this is
dude, he
awesome.
was chasing it down the hill, and then when it finally stopped and got up, he like headbutted it, where he like slammed into it because he really wanted to like grab it because it was squeaking. So he headbutted it, and then it turned around, and it snapped to him, and then Harley, like, fucked off into a bush because it scared him. And then he came back and tried it again.
Poor baby.
It's fine. Harley's been jump scared in that park more than one. Like, this dude was standing at the bottom of a hill in that park, and me and Harley were, like, I want to say, like, 15 feet away from him. And Harley was only 12 weeks old at this time, so he was dinky, super tiny. And he was took him to the park to build his confidence, and this guy... Like he had a whistle in his hand, a dog whistle, and he used it. And I was like, "Oh, I wonder what's gonna come over the top of the hill," because he was staring at the top of the hill. So I looked.
Yep.
When I say 9 fucking Hungarian Wieslas and 2 Weimaraners came over that hill, bro, Harley shat a brick. They came down the hill in a fucking like herd. That shit was. It was like, you know that scene in The Lion King.
I was immediately thinking of that.
Yeah, it literally felt like that. I looked up and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Right, you just made that same exact face Simba made.
Yeah, no, dead ass. Like he started like crouching and shit. So Harley like ran behind my leg. And, like part of me wanted to like pick him up, but the other part of me was like, "Don't pick him up," because if he doesn't go through this, he's gonna try and hide behind you at every other point in his life. He still tries to hide behind me, but they all came down the hill, and instead of going to their owner, all like 11 of them stopped to sniff Harley, but at the same time.
Oh my goodness.
He was shitting it, bro. Like he was just on his back, like stomach up to the sky, like please don't kill me. I was like, dude, why do you have so many fucking dogs? And he was like, oh, I don't know, my wife likes them.
Oh my
Oh,
God, and of
jeez.
course it's the wife.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, he also one of his Weimaraners was long-haired,
Mm-hmm.
and I
No.
didn't know it was a thing because I didn't know they
No.
carried that gene, and I was like, oh, why the fuck does it look like Gandalf?
I
Like,
hate that. I hate that so
Gandalf the
much.
Grey? Dude, it wasn't even like a proper like long-haired coat. It was all like thin.
Yeah, like that
Nasty.
feathery look.
Yeah, he looked like he had alopecia, but he didn't have alopecia. That's what fucked me up. I was like, why does your dog look like that? Your dog looks
Yeah.
like a sock.
That's another thing. Just okay. I don't know if you all see them, but I fucking get so many TikToks of white women wanting small, tiny cows, and I
Yeah,
want to know
right.
where that came from.
I'll
Tiny
occasionally
what?
see it. Tiny cows?
Yes,
Yeah, I'll see those occasionally, yeah.
like the mini
mean,
highlight. Like yes,
I
they're
would
cute,
like a
but
tiny cow.
but
Of course
like
you
on
would.
a farm. These ladies don't live on a farm.
Yeah, they want them in the regular ass homes and apartments and shit.
As like
Yeah.
a solo
Yeah,
cow,
like-
no less. So it's like, what the fuck, lady? Like you're supposed to, these are social animals, my dude.
Yeah.
Like,
If I got one,
Yeah.
I would have to be living somewhere that had a substantial amount of land. But
Mhm.
right?
No, these
want one
ladies
'cause
just
I
want
feel
them
like
in
they're
a
pretty
fucking
close to the border.
suburb. A suburb.
yeah, no, fuck that. I'm not taking my fucking cow for a walk, bro. Are you joking? I've been walking down the
That's what they
street
do, though.
in Ireland.
That's what they do, and I'm like, what? What?
Mhm.
I mean,
That would
we
stress
already
me
have.
out. The amount of people that you'd be walking down the street, the amount of people that'd be like, oh, you're taking your burgers for a walk. I'd be like, ha ha, shut up. So many times I can hear that joke. That's why I won't get a giant breed, because I don't want to hear, are you walking him or is he walking you? You could put a saddle on there. Oh my god, is that a horse? Like, no.
That's what I was about to say.
Yep.
I didn't even fucking like it when I used to dog sit for my friend that has a Shiba, just because the amount of people that would stop me and go, is that a fox? And like,
God.
after like the
Oh my God.
third person, I stopped being nice and just started kind of going, have you ever seen a fox in your fucking life?
Right.
You're right.
Even once? Have you looked at a fox? Just one part of the fucking fox. This doesn't even look remotely similar to a fox. Stupid ass. Just because she's a red one. I think they're called like Sesame or something.
Yeah, Sesame.
She just does not look like a fox to me.
Right.
She's funny
I mean-
though. Like people will be like, "Oh my god, is that a fox? Is that a Shiba?" And like you stand there and answer their question the whole time. This dog's looking at me like, "Can we fucking go?
Yeah, right.
I don't know these people."
Are we done yet? Are we done yet?
Right. See, and then you
Yeah,
have all
so-
the idiots like doing like LOL Doge, and it's like, you know what I'm thinking? How would be hilarious is if you train that Shiba in like, you know, like bite work, and Doge was the like trigger word. Just, you know, like, every time
No.
some person on the street like LOL Doge, and the dog like.
That's
That
a
would be so
lawsuit
impressive
waiting to
if
happen,
somebody-
though.
I'd be so impressed if somebody could train a Shiba to do bite work though, because they are the most. I will not do it unless you give me something dogs I've ever
Right.
met.
Mhm, Yep.
Aren't they
They're basically
compared
like
to cats?
It's just a cat.
Yeah, right.
They are so similar
gonna
to
say.
cats.
Yep.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
that's what they're usually
very
compared to.
cat-like. Oh, you want to hear something else funny? Is like fucking. Oh my god! It was like, there's this person I knew at one point who they got I think it was a Labrador mix, and like nothing else in it. There was like, you know, a remotely like protection style dog, but they tried to train that dog in protection. The worst part is though, it started working, but they were doing like the cheesy at-home protection without a professional trainer backing them. So their dog
Oh,
just started
boy.
fucking biting their mom out of nowhere. I'm like, huh, no surprise. bitch. Wow, who would have thunk?
Yeah.
Ain't that a crazy thing?
Yeah,
Concept,
couldn't have
you know?
seen this coming. Couldn't have seen this coming.
It's so
Not at
crazy
all.
that people will teach their dog to bite and then be like, "Oh my god, why is he biting people?"
That's
There's a really big thing in the UK right now with people breeding. They have what's it fucking called? We have a registry. And I think it's called like UCB, UKB, something like that. But it's basically a dog shit registry for people who have dog shit dogs. They You can register like fluffy Merle French bulldogs.
Oh no.
I've been checking out the website for years because I was kind of curious about it when it first started, so I was like following it. And there's even, when you register your dog, you can click on the breeds that they have on that are listed.
Yep.
But right at the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
there's a box you can tick that just says canine of your own creation.
Oh my
What?
gosh.
So you can register
Huh.
literally anything.
Oh my
No.
gosh.
And the only thing that you need to
Okay.
register it with is, so you fill out that form
Yep.
and you send it off along with like pictures of your dog or like a DNA record or whatever.
Yep.
And then they'll ask you for your dog's parentage. And if you can provide the parentage, then they give you essentially a pedigree,
No.
Yep.
like a written up pedigree certificate.
I refuse. This is terrible.
No, it's fucking shit because all the people that are using it that I'm seeing, like there are people in Manchester, I want to say, is where it is. Yeah, it's like Essexy, Manchestery area. They have actual game-bred pit bulls. They're illegal in this country, so it's like it's not hard to get them. But it's like the fact that you guys are fucking advertising them is insane to me.
Right.
But they have them, and then they mix them with all these other different mastiffs and make their own line of like band dogs, and then
Oh,
they
gosh.
throw in a little bit of Malinois in there, and then a
Oh,
little bit of
boy.
English Bull Terrier.
This isn't
And
going to
they
go over
like,
well.
they go to these like bike clubs or whatever.
Yep.
And like I've been following these two girls on Instagram, just watching their like bike club
Wow.
journey.
Yep.
Occasionally, like most of the time, stuff they do is pretty standard, and then
Yeah.
occasionally I'll just see the decoy do the most dumb shit. Like when you have a decoy, the decoy needs to be able to, when the dog hits them, a decoy needs to be able to know which way to fall so that you don't damage yourself and the dog at the same time. The whole
Yeah.
point is not to break the dog's neck when it jumps at you.
Right.
But you also need to protect the person that's rating, like the actual trial. Because there are some dogs that would just run for the guy that's rating rather than the actual decoy.
Yep.
It happens all across the world. But these decoy, I watched one the other day. He was standing
Yeah.
in front of an A-frame,
Oh boy.
and then a band dog that he's like, when it stood up on its back feet and actually like launched to jump, that dog was taller
Wow.
than this man. So
Oh,
I
boy.
can only assume that it weighed more than this man as well. But the dog slammed into him.
Yeah.
And then the guy hit the A-frame, and the dog went straight over it. And it's only by the luck of the fact that the dog let go, because the dog did like a front flip to get over this A-frame.
Okay.
But because the dog let go, it didn't break its neck. If it had let go, I can guarantee you that dog would be dead.
Well,
But that's like, it's just so stereotypical of the bullshit that the UK has now. And we have all these bully
Well.
breeders that are like, oh, I have this big Merle boy. We have kids being killed by American bullies,
oh my gosh.
which is the exact opposite of what these dogs were made
Yeah,
for.
right. The entire point of American bullies was to start breeding a bully breed that wasn't aggressive towards shit.
Yeah, like at the very minimal, they would have some type of DA.
Right.
That's it. Some
Yeah,
type
and at
of
that
very
point, they
minimal,
wanted to be
mild.
Very,
population.
yeah, mild. Like, basically just your average dog selectiveness that any other breed would have is what, you know. But,
Yeah.
you know,
Goal.
there are people out here just, like, making the total opposite of that now. Instead, they're making those fucking toad bullies.
Oh,
God.
bro, if I have
Yeah.
to see
Those
one
exotic
more on my
micro
street.
pockets.
No, there's
Extra small
not exotic at
toad
all.
bullies. Oh, they're exotic, all right, because that's like a fucking science experiment right there.
That's a mutant. I don't know if I call that exotic.
It's an exotic science experiment.
fucking horrible, bro. I saw a video of one running the other day, and it just like it did a front flip, like it tripped on its own 2-inch long front legs, and the whole back end just come up over it, and then it got up and kept going. It was, you know,
Oh
that
my
video
goodness.
of the one that's standing on the grooming table and that guy's washing it and it falls off. It was like the same shape of that dog. And I was like, how the fuck did you fall over while running?
Oh my goodness.
The worst part, he was chasing like a fucking Labrador or something. So Labradors don't have long legs. Like
No.
they're kind of square built, but at the same time, this Labrador had such a big reach compared to what this little fucking thing had.
Oh boy.
Fucking hate them. I swear, I've never hated anything more in my life than the existence of these fucking toad ass dogs.
Right. Like, God, and then, like, worst part is like, oh my God, I'm not sure if you've heard of the drama about it or whatever. I like posted a little bit about it. Also, my stepdad's dog got attacked the other day or a couple weeks back.
I saw you mention it.
Yeah, so like, this is like Ember's like best friend in the entire world. Basically, it's like Ember's known that dog since that dog was a puppy, and they've just been best buddies ever since. So like, oh my god! And then apparently these fucking douche neighbors that we have there, like over where my stepdad lives. Oh my god, their dogs were always harassing me and Ember when we were trying to go anywhere along the road because they just let those dogs run free. So eventually, I just got to a point where I started throwing firecrackers at the bastards. I was getting fed up with them, so I was like, "Firecrackers ahoy, bitches!" And oh my god,
It's like, hold on, your stepdad didn't like report them or anything, like get animal control
that's the
over
worst
here.
part.
Nothing.
He has, but the people keep getting away with that shit. Yep. So literally, like, so basically, a couple weeks back, those like the person's dogs like came over onto my stepdad's property and everything, and just started like maiming his dog. Yeah, like actually, like they had her by like either side, like by the throat and by the haunches and stuff, and were just like tearing at her. And she was like so heavily injured and stuff after that. Thankfully survived, but holy cow, like she went right to the vet for that. He like chased them off, thankfully, but my gosh. And then and the worst part is they keep coming back though too. So like just the other day, apparently, he had some puppies out, and stuff that he was raising. They were all like about 6-7 months old or something like that. So they're they're definitely older now. And he's raising up 7 of them and gonna to get them all started and trained. But anyway, apparently he let them out, and those dogs were apparently there, and those puppies just piled on one of the dogs. There were 7 fucking dogs on a single other dog. And they chased that dog all the way back to his own property, just on the border. Like, so they were still on my stepdad's property. So they were just on the border and ripping that dog apart. And the dude really had the audacity to come out and be like, "Get your fucking dogs!" Like, like, oh my gosh, dude.
It's like not fun when you're on the receiving end, huh?
Like, imagine being on the receiving end of what your dogs do all the time. Like that dude's dogs apparently just swing by my stepdad's property all the time, pick fights with his dogs.
And it's just
fuck that.
Right? And I mean, like at this point, I'm like, dude, holy cow! Like I would have shot those dogs long ago, to be frank. Like,
you're right.
The worst part is they had actually gone around biting people walking along that road and everything, actual bites. Like the animal control has done nothing about them. It's just the fact that
aren't they supposed to do like
fine.
Behavioral use if they keep biting people
They
like that?
should, but the animal control is donkeys. Like,
I mean, again, they've been repeatedly going onto your stepdad's property. Isn't your dad fully within his right to shoot those fucking dogs?
Yeah, he is. he was a long time ago, and like, oh my god. At that point, I feel like he really needs to because those dogs aren't safe.
To because this is ridiculous. Because how long has this been going on for?
Like, yeah, for years. Like, let's see, it's like.
Come on now.
I was
Come on now.
In 2019, so 2019, 2020. Yeah,
so
like
4 years at least.
4 years.
Yeah,
4 years.
minimal. Like this is just getting insane. So those dogs need to go one way or another.
Right.
It's gotta be the at-home lead bullet, route. Then by all means, holy cow.
Or I'd be loading up my gun and walking down that road with a shovel on purpose.
Right? Just wait till they come out off their property. It's like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, let's take
out there with jerky
get some
in my
cameras.
pocket.
Get some cameras set up on his property. So as soon as whenever the next time they come over to start some shit, and it's like, hey, you see them? They're on my property. Bam, 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 bam. All right, I'm in with them. All right. See, all his bases are covered.
Right. See, like
right?
also, you wouldn't even need
check the
jerky
reports.
in
I
your
put reports in
pockets.
before.
They would just charge you in general.
Right.
The way I feel like I want to give them a chance, so I probably bonk one with a shovel and see if they run away.
Like that's the thing though, they'll like cause problems and like actually attack shit, but then like the moment you actually fight back, they'll go. But it's like, oh, those dogs are out of control. And it's like the worst part is one of them isn't even that bad. He just feeds off the main dog who does the attacking.
Right. Yeah. Just
get
off the
pack.
Yeah. So you have this one dog who's like some kind of yellow lab mix, and he's actually cool. He's friendly. He was like I pet him and everything. But then the moment you insert this brindled long hair pit bull looking motherfucker, that's when shit goes haywire, and he just also feeds off of that. Like at that point, you may as well just get rid of the ringleader and the rest of them. At that point, they've already had their chances.
I hate that fucking bullshit. I just know those dogs are so bored at home.
Right?
They'd be running around doing this shit because they have fuck all else to do.
Basically.
I wish animal laws in the UK allowed me to take care of an issue if I had one, but nah.
Right. No, you can't do that to the poor puppy.
Yeah, right.
Bro, I got actively like fucking chased by my neighbor's dog.
Oh my gosh.
This is my neighbor had, my old neighbor where I used to live had a Rottweiler Malamute cross,
Oh boy.
and he
That
fed
just
it.
sounds like a nightmare.
Mm-mm.
He was a really nice puppy,
Yeah.
but the second he hit sexual maturity and the genes kicked in,
Yep.
he turned into a fucking demon.
Nightmare.
Like
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
he used to play with him. It would be him, Harley, and Harley's best friend Tego. That was the Bull Mastiff Great Dane cross.
Yeah.
Absolute gentle giant, loveliest dog I've ever met. Just a really chill older dude. They used to play all the time. Tego loved being like the adult that got to beat the shit out of some kids. He thought that was great.
Yep.
He also taught Harley to, like, Tego used to do this thing where he'd run at Harley, plant his front paws in the ground, and then spin. So he'd slam his ass into Harley, and Harley would like fly away. So Harley does that to other dogs that he plays with. But they used to play it all the time. It was completely fine. And then like just one day, what was that fucking dog called? He had the most stereotypical name. Oh yeah, Odin. He
Yep, that tracks.
He just decided that he wanted to try and eat Harley one day, which is obviously a problem because Harley was in the stage where he was tolerant
Ready to fight?
Yeah.
to a point. Like like at this current point now, he won't start a fight, but he will quite happily finish a fight.
Right.
Mhm.
And we had just gotten to the stage where he stopped violently reacting to every dog on the street.
Yeah.
He was more likely to be excited to finish a fight. And that just so happened to coincide with the time where Odin decided that actually he doesn't want to be the baby
Oh,
brother
boy.
anymore, and he wants to fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
Um,
He wants to move up in the ranks.
yeah, it never worked out for him. Like, there was a point where he started a fight by... He tried to jump up on Tego's owner, but Tego's owner is chronically ill, and she has very, very brittle bones. I mean, like, to the point where when Harley was, like, 4 months old, he ran into her legs as he was running past her, and he fractured her shin.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh,
Like, that's how delicate she is. He was not a heavy puppy at that point,
Well.
but that's just how delicate she is. So he went to jump on her,
Mhm.
and I was like, he's gonna break her fucking back. Like, if
You're
Harley
right.
fractured her shin, he's gonna kill her. So
Right.
I had to kind of like
Gosh.
body check him to prevent him from doing that. But if, you know, northern breeds are very opinionated, and then you have the stubborn Rottweiler in there, so he didn't
Right.
appreciate being body checked. So he rose up and tried to bite my face. Which I thought was like a bit fucking much, honestly. Like, you could have just nipped my leg or something and just been like, hey, fuck you. But no, he decided to try and remove my face. So I shoved him, he fell over, and then when he came back, Harley body checked him to be like, you know, chill the fuck out, don't do that. Like, Harley was kind enough to body check him, not to kill him. So I was like, thanks, bro. Like, you know, you really got my back. Odin then decided to try and correct Harley. And then at some point, the boys started a fight. I asked Tego's owner if she could like walk away so I could get the boys apart without her being anywhere near it.
Right.
just in case.
But while I was like tending to her real quick, Tego decided to get involved, and Tego and Harley played tug of war with Odin's entire body.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he started
that was
it.
fun. Yeah. We had that time. We got that all broken up. All the dogs are fine. Odin had a couple like superficial scratches, but that was it.
Yeah.
He was very sore the next day.
Jeez.
But then we had a fight where me and Harley were in like a field, and I saw Odin and his owner across the opposite side of the field.
Yep.
The second Odin noticed I was there with Harley, he walked backwards out of his harness and like made a fucking beeline for us.
Oh my goodness.
That fight, that was easily the worst fight I've ever had to break up. That shit was it was so bad. There was a point where I had to sit on both of their heads at the same time to stop them from
Oh
like
my
ripping each other
goodness.
apart. This dude as well, yeah, Odin's owner. I'm sitting my little 5'4" ass sitting on these two power breeds that like together weigh probably double as much as I weigh, and I'm sitting on them fighting for my fucking life, right? This guy is walking, taking his time to get to me. I was like, boy, you know, fucking get over here right now. I was losing my shit, bro.
Yeah,
Like, we
right.
finally get them apart. I had to choke Harley off, which, by the way, for anyone that listens to this podcast, if you want to get your dog off another dog, do not shove your finger in its ass. Don't bother
Right.
throwing water over it. Don't kick the shit out of it because you're just going to excite it. Take
Mhm.
your leash, wrap it around your dog's neck, and choke the fuck out of it.
Right.
It will
Yep.
let go or it will pass out. Either way, it lets go at the end.
Yes.
So I had to I choked Harley off. He got his dog. We both separated. Harley has a massive blaze of white fur on his chest and like underneath his head. And he has like white socks. So when I get home, all of this shit is red.
Mm.
And I was like, oh my god, you definitely have like some gigantic puncture somewhere. Like there has to be a
Yeah.
laceration. I showered him off. That dickhead had nothing. He had like 3 superficial like tooth scrapes across the side of his face. That's it. But I was thinking like, what the fuck was Odin
my
holding on
goodness.
to then?
You're right.
Realized he was holding on to Harley's collar.
Collar. Yep.
Yeah.
The thing, do you know what's even worse though? I bought this collar because Odin started acting a fucking fool and trying to eat Harley at every given opportunity. So I bought a collar that had curved spikes on it.
Mm.
Yeah.
So this spiked collar is also covered in shit. And I was like, oh my god. So then like I spoke to Odin's owner. It cost him near enough $1,000 to have his dog stitched back together. And then he had
Wow.
to go in the following week to potentially have dental work done because one of the spikes had gone up into a gum.
Ooh. Yep.
And I was like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, right.
Mm.
That's wild. If only you didn't have a harness that your dog walks out of.
Right.
You're right.
I told him about that too, right? I was like, it's crazy that he walked out of his harness. This motherfucker looked me in the eye and said, yeah, he does that sometimes. I was like,
Oh my gosh.
hey.
That's when you know you need a different one.
Right.
Thank you.
Talking about fucking stereotypical dog owners. That's some stereotypical bullshit right there. I'm gonna put it in equipment that don't work and then laugh about it not working. What?
Right.
Right.
But
Yeah,
remember,
see,
it's always your fault that it doesn't work.
Uh-huh.
Every time.
Right.
Every time.
Yeah. See, this is all like insanely wild for me to hear because, like, I think I can probably safely say out of everyone else in the server here is like I have the least experience living with dogs and cats
Right.
because like I had like for like a substantial period of time because I mentioned before I had like the one black lab we had when I was like really little for like a few years before we ended up having to give him up.
Right.
And I think I've said it before, like that's like looking back on it now, just like what the fuck was my dad thinking? Because like he only lived in the basement. He fucking lived in the basement.
Oh yeah.
It's like my mom would not let him up in the rest of the house because he was just like, dad wouldn't train him. Didn't have the time or energy. It's like
Oh,
he
boy.
basement and then tied up in the backyard. Didn't know for however much time to do his business, then back in the basement.
Right.
And it's just like there's no way for a fucking dog to live. So I'm glad we eventually finally gave him up. But
Right.
then since then, it was just like all my other experiences with no dogs and cats were just through no dog sitting here and there, or like
Right,
no
other
going to a
people's
friend's house and
dog,
entertaining
yeah.
other people's or families' pets and shit like that. That's like the majority of my experience with cats and dogs.
Right.
So hearing all these stories, just like what the fuck,
You know, these,
dude.
like crazy ass stories that you thankfully
Yeah,
never
right.
did.
Uh huh. Because like it'd be one thing. Because like. Because like there's like my friends' dogs who I knew for years before they eventually passed, but it's like all the crazy shit that y'all's animals be getting into, like it just doesn't happen in my area. It just doesn't fucking happen. Either that or it's like the most well kept secret. I don't fucking know. It just doesn't happen here.
Probably just because we're all so fucking used to it, we just barely mention it unless we're
Yeah.
talking with other
Right.
people that are sharing the same story but like their version.
Right.
Mhm, you're
Like the
right.
amount of shit that I have to deal with on a daily basis just taking him for a walk
Right.
is insane.
Hmm.
There is one guy that I've met in this whole area after a year and a half almost of living here that
Yep.
actually knows what he's doing with his dog, and that is because he has a German Shepherd Husky cross, very
yeah.
handsome.
Okay.
Very handsome, older kind of dog, like really dark grey, dark grey, almost black fur. His dog is reactive, but really well managed. So when we see each other, one of us will cross the road, but then we also use each other as like a training opportunity and kind of
Right.
like work around that area for a minute.
Finally.
Yeah,
Someone
he's a
good.
really cool guy, like a really cool guy. But his whole thing was that he had almost like a call to arms, like a fucking come to Jesus moment with this dog, where it was like it was so reactive that at one point it turned around and tried to bite him because it was
Oh.
working itself up so bad.
Right.
And he'd never heard of dogs doing shit like that before his dog did it.
Right.
He'd never seen a dog do it. But instead of finding the nearest Caesar Milan-esque trainer, he went on like Google and started like really teaching himself and putting in the work. That's a rarity, by the way, Nick. Like very rarely will you ever
Yeah.
find another dog owner that actually knows what they're doing,
Oh, for sure,
how to do
100%.
it,
Right.
or when to like give up and ask for professional help.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This guy has so much equipment on his dog too. Like he has a prong collar, which you never see people use in the UK.
Yep.
Because they're so very like, you put a prong collar on your dog in the UK, you're asking for RSPCA to come to your house. It's not like
Right.
you're doing anything wrong. It's just because people think that prong collars are evil.
Are you talking about like the choke collars?
No, it's the
Kind
the
of.
collars that have kind of like the rounded ended prongs on them.
Yeah,
Kind of like a reverse spike collar, but like it's the ends are like real round and they apply pressure.
Yeah, we called those a choke collar.
Oh yeah.
We got one for my lab.
Yeah, so
Because-
in the UK you can't really use them because people will shit on you. Like I mean, like strangers in the street will attack you for using them. They're that
Oh yeah,
bad. Like
oh yeah, 100%.
I have a choke chain for Harley that I haven't had to use in years, but it's just
Right.
because he's so big and his neck is so muscly that when I applied pressure with a flat collar, he can't really even feel it. And if he does feel it, he doesn't give a fuck about it because it's not enough of it, like the feeling.
Right.
And it's not like I wasn't using the choke chain to hurt him. Obviously, it's just like a quick like you pop the
Yeah.
leash, like hey, like fix your fucking act, and he's like, oh my bad, let me stop dragging you, like I'm in the Iditarod.
You mean
Yeah,
you
use a
didn't
prong
want to
here, you're
race?
asking for shit. Bro, this dog used to think he was racing to every destination.
Yeah.
I used to hate walking him, I swear to God. There was just like he hated paying attention to me, so I hated walking him because it was
Oh
like
my
walking a
goodness.
freight train.
Yep.
I fixed it, obviously. I put in the work and the effort and we fixed it, but
Right.
oh my God, that was a like terrible like month and a half of me trying to work out what was going on.
Yep.
That shit sucked. That was when he got like his first like round of teenager muscle and teenager attitude.
Oh yeah.
And then the reactivity started coming in, and then he decided that he needed to speed run everywhere for some reason. Fucking dickhead.
Yeah. You want to know the funniest thing is like about how so on the other end like when my family had Junie, of course, obviously she's a small dog. So the funniest thing about having a small dog reactivity but being responsible about it is when you cross the road, because someone's coming at you, you don't want your dog like going feral, and then they're like, "Oh no, mine's fine." It's like because like they're too worried about their dog being the issue. I'm like, "Oh no, trust me, it's not your dog."
Promise it's not you.
This
it's
is for
me.
your benefit. Okay, trust me. Like I got this.
Like, oh my god, there's this fucking little chihuahua I used to have to walk by a lot to get to any of the routes that I used to walk because I was in this really weird area where there's only one way to get safely get to somewhere. And this dumbass had their fucking chihuahua running around causing chaos on everyone. So like at one point I'm like, and this thing tried to keep attacking me all the time in Junie. And of course, obviously, I'm trying to hold her back and like keep that thing at bay. And one day I'm just like, that is it. So I just like reeled up and I actually punted that dog across the entire road and just sent
my
it into
God.
someone's yard. I'm like, that is it, you son of a bitch.
Guess that you can only take so much.
Right. And the funniest thing is that dog never came back at me again after that.
I bet.
So,
I
like,
fucking bet.
like it actually flew, and I'm like, you know what? Normally I would be like, whoops, poor doggy, but I don't even feel bad.
Nope.
I don't even
There you
feel
go.
bad for this
Gotta,
one.
gotta time it for when a tractor trailer's coming down the street and just kick it just right into the
Yeah,
path.
right.
Yeah.
Ah, whoops. The
Whoops, there goes that chihuahua.
dog was playing in the street, and what can you do?
Gosh darn it.
So I have two things. One, like a relatable story to this, but also I want to circle back to the
Yep.
stereotype in a second. So the relatable story is like in a similar fashion. Before Harley decided he wanted to kill everyone, I used to still take him to the park. It wasn't a dog park, but dogs are allowed in the park. But I'd
Yeah.
seen this woman like 4 or 5 times, and every single time her Labrador would come up and charge. I mean, like, I'm gonna fuck you up type charge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I just like really loved that it had that bravery until it was about 5 feet ahead of us, and then it stopped just out of reach and like bark in Harley's face and be like, "Come on then, bitch!" But like Harley didn't have an aggressive bone in his body at that point. So he was
Yeah.
just like trying to play with it, and this dog's like, "Fine, I'll kill you then." But I had one too many times of that, and then I stood there and I had Harley behind me, laying down, like I told him to back when he used to do what I told him to. And
Yep.
I was like, hey, get your dog, or I'm going to make sure it doesn't run up on me ever again. And this woman was like, oh, what can you do? What can you do? It's just a dog. It's just what dogs do. And I was like, that's crazy, because I'm about to show you what I fucking do if you carry it.
Right.
Get your dog. And she's like, so she starts calling it. The dog don't want to listen. And then she very loudly told me basically to fuck off and that she was giving up and that it's my problem because I'm just standing there anyway. So, this is when I used to work in a pet store,
Yep.
and I used to wear steel-toed boots.
Oh,
Nah.
Boy.
Because I got very sick of dropping things on my toes in like my really comfortable shoes, so I found comfortable protective shoes. And I forgot that I was wearing these boots because I had Harley at work with me that day, so we were walking through the park to get back home. And I forgot that I was wearing these boots, so when I kicked her dog in the head, the top of my boot landed square with the underneath of this dog's jaw.
Well.
So I don't even personally think I kicked it that hard,
Yeah.
but I kicked it because it wasn't so much barking anymore as like it was working itself up to lunge, and it started doing like the fake lunges, so it was like a now or never type thing.
Yeah. Right.
So I kicked it, hit it in the jaw. The dog's head snapped straight up, and then it just collapsed. Like, I knocked this dog flat out, just gone. For like a good 2 seconds, this dog did not get up, and then it kind of got up, and then wobbled back in the
Jeez.
direction of its owner. He was like, I'm gonna call the police, dude. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Call them.
I was about to turn into that one situation where that Doberman got kicked in the head by the horse and died sitting.
Dude, that
Right.
video fucks me. Every time I see it, I'm just like, because the
Right.
guys that own it are like, oh, that's so funny, he got kicked and now he's sitting down, haha,
Yeah,
and then
right.
they walk in front of the Doberman and you can see it's just gone. It's
Right?
just not there. Imagine dying so fast that you're sitting up.
Right.
That's fucked. That is so bad.
Oh,
The
Scary.
fucking the stereotype thing that I wanted to get back to with people being stupid about their animals is there was a woman where I used to live who was just obsessed with anything bull breed,
Yep.
but she had a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel,
Oh boy.
right? Like an older Cavalier, and it was very friendly. It's just very
Okay.
usual older Cavaliers, and like
Yeah.
I just want to vibe. I'm just here for the vibes, and it was a really cool dog. But I asked her 4 or 5 times not to walk over to me and Harley with that dog,
Yep.
and every fucking time she'd go,
Oh my god.
"No, it's okay. He's friendly." By the luck of whatever fucking higher power is out there, he did never once try and eat that dog. I mean, like, this is when I used to like muzzle him constantly on walks anyway, so he wouldn't have been able to bite it. But all I could think was like, because she'd literally say to me, "Oh, these guys get such a bad rap, they don't deserve it." And while she's saying these things to me, I can literally see the cogs turning in Harley's head, where he's like, "I could fucking eat you right now," and no one would know. No one would know. Who's gonna know?
I'm gonna do
They
it.
wouldn't know.
I'm gonna do it.
Like,
Right.
literally, bro. Like, what made it worse as well is that she wouldn't walk away. I'd have to walk away. But when you have a dog that's already tense and trying to decide whether or not he wants to kick it up or not, trying to remove him by pulling on the lead just sparks that shit. It's like throwing a match on a bunch of like really
Because
thin
it's fight
pieces
time.
of wood. Yeah.
Yep.
Like, it's such an easy way to spark a fight when dogs are being really tense and then their owners try and
Right.
drag them away on the leash. It just creates so much more tension and they want to fucking go for it.
Yep.
So she'd never fucking walk away, but I could physically see him getting to the point where he was gonna go. So instead of pulling on the lead, I used to pick him up.
Yep.
All 40, 60-pound of dog I used to pick up and walk down the street with because I didn't want it to eat the dog. But because she was such a fucking, pit bull ally, she decided that she wanted to risk her rat's life. And I'm like, oh,
Oh
thanks.
no.
Right.
She wouldn't just do that to me either. Like, she did it to everybody on the street that had, a quote-unquote dangerous-looking dog.
Oh my goodness.
Anybody. I'm just like, how has your dog gone this long without getting fucking eaten?
Right.
'Cause that dog was 10 when I last saw it.
Holy cow.
I was like,
God.
the fuck? How are you alive?
Yep.
Oh fuck.
I hate
Is that
Nightmare.
a night?
Hey, there's Nightmare.
Alright, now we have guest appearance nightmare. Introduce yourself.
Maybe. Possibly.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
no,
Oh.
maybe can't speak.
Oh, she's just still listening.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, right.
We never did introduce ourselves at the top of the podcast, but we'll just do it at the end. Who cares?
Yeah, well, to be fair, we don't need to because we did it in the first episode.
No, but people forget, and we also have to. Any newcomers that show up, we gotta let them know.
Tisk tisk.
It's like
Or just redirect them to the first
people
episode.
Yeah,
like
right?
start podcasts like in the middle or at like the latest episode. They don't go back to the fucking beginning.
That sounds like a big problem.
And you redirect.
We're only
You
2
redirect.
episodes in.
It's fine.
Devices.
Oh, there you are.
Oh, a voice.
Oh,
The voice
no.
can be heard.
Oh no, the phone.
Oh, really?
What? Fuck it. I'm kidding.
I can barely
Jeez.
comprehend the
Barely
words.
hear you.
Because,
Was it really that low on the phone?
no, it's just poor
No,
audio
it's just
quality.
choppy. It's choppy as fuck.
Yeah, really horrible
Why is it-
audio quality.
But it wasn't so bad before. Hang on.
That's a little better.
Yeah.
Slightly. We're professionals, people. We're
Yeah, right?
We're just
I'm
starting
not.
out. We're just starting out. This is a new adventure.
but yeah, no, we could. Yeah, with all this no bully breed dog talk general shit going on, it goes to show how much my parents have lucked out with their current dog. Is like
Right.
so he's no bull terrier. I try to remember where, because I think she was originally a pair with another slightly smaller bull terrier in Ohio.
Okay.
I
Oh, in Ohio.
think yeah, right. Originally belonged to a neighbor of my older cousin.
Yeah.
I think, but again, had to give him up. So cousin took him in for a while.
Right.
Kind of went back and forth between him and his mom, my aunt Lauren. And eventually, on one of my dad's visits up there to visit family and whatnot, ended up really liking Bella, and I think again the cousin and aunt needed the space and whatnot, so cousin ended up keeping the other one, and then my dad took Bella, and yeah, it's really shocking how well behaved she is, because like again, fantastic with people, like loves other dogs.
Mm-hmm.
It's like she's been in like an occasional scrap here and there at the dog park, but she's never the one to start it. She has never ever been the one to start it.
Yeah, it's
Like-
like-
finish.
Yeah, she's like it never starts it, but always will not back down unless she gets pulled off.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Typical pit bull.
Yep.
Is my audio better?
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, it's still got that like tinny phone feel, but that's just phones for you, so.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. We'll
No,
forgive you
it's
this
just
month.
it's just because I am not leaving my bed right now. I don't know what I did. So you remember how yesterday I was talking about my neck hurt?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's
And then
worse.
you made it worse.
After,
Made it worse.
after I finished drawing and did everything, I wasn't in pain except for that little twinge. And when I posted the thing about going to bed, I was joking. I wasn't actually going to bed. I just want to see if I was going to say anything. And I was laying there for a bit, and then I went to get up, and it just, from the base of my skull to the middle of my shoulder blades to my left arm, felt like somebody took an ice pick directly to every single joint I had.
Oh boy.
And if I'm not laying,
your
I'm not laying
200-year-old
straight
gaming
up the
chair
ceiling.
for work. I refuse, bro. I've seen that
No.
shit one too many times.
Yeah, right.
It's like
Looks like you
unforgivable.
sandpapered it.
Right.
Judging my chair. It's a good chair.
I'm about to buy you a new fucking chair. bro.
I'm sure it was back when dinosaurs roamed the earth.
Yeah, right.
My chair
That was
is the
like-
aesthetic look of my chair, and then
No,
I
fucking
no longer
aesthetic
turn
look.
up and down, so I'm like boobs to the desk.
Bro, that was the first gaming chair ever made. You need
Yeah,
to
right.
Not,
That chair was there at the Last Supper. I need you
Right.
to fucking
Like
aesthetic chair.
first caveman carpenter built
Yeah, right.
shit.
It's back when cavemen were gamers, it's been passed down through the ages.
It's a legacy chair.
Having to chisel the characters moving bit by bit on the cave wall.
Right.
What pattern did you want on this one?
The wheels even still round on
Buffalo?
that chair, they just flat.
Oh god.
Every fucking time I see that chair, I have to like physically restrain myself from
Hey, it has been a sturdy tool. I have watched my roommates go through like 3 to 4 chairs a year, and I've had this chair for at least
400.
You walked into that one. You totally walked into that
Shouldn't
one.
have paused, bro. You should have
Yeah,
had that
right.
number.
It's a family heirloom passed down from her great grandmother.
Nightmare.
No, I'm sorry.
Your headset should have like Bluetooth. Get that shit going. So you don't sound like you're talking from a fucking trash can.
She's not leaving her bed.
I tried to connect the headset to the phone.
It's like,
Can I
yeah,
use
my
your phone?
mother Rose fucking swam across the Atlantic with that chair in tow.
No, I'm sorry.
It's like carrying over that Felicia Mountains on her back.
My headset came over, and then you had to put or Santa Maria, okay?
Right, so
You know when
I
your
guess.
grandparents talk about how they used to walk to school every day
Yeah,
for like
right.
12 miles? They walk past that chair every day.
Yeah, right. It would be the beacon for
Just on the
which
side of the
direction to go. It would always point north, so they knew how to get back. And they say it would
Like,
bring good luck if a mighty eagle
Southeast.
landed upon it.
Gonna go 5 miles southeast along the King's Road. Then once you get to the gaming chair, you're gonna go due west.
We need to have a segment on this podcast where we just pull up images of things to roast, because I would have a great
Except it's just gonna be all of Knight's shit.
Just her whole house.
I feel bad, bro. You start sending me pictures of Knight's house, like my mouth will open, it just won't stop.
You have to find anonymous pictures.
My struggle bus life is a struggle bus life. We don't get fancy things.
It's not a bus.
We can tell because they're talking from a trash can.
You're right.
It's
Struggle
each being a
track
bus.
It's not even the bus; it's the short bus.
Oh, the blue bus.
I want to make a joke that it's what is that stupid vehicle called? The Winnebago. There you go.
Oh god.
No, you're one of those smart cars, but it was like before smart cars were actually invented, so they just made it back in like the 1800s.
Oh god.
It's one of those. It's like a semi-intelligent car.
What the f-
But you still have to get out in front of it and like crank that fucking wheel on it to get the engine
Yeah,
going.
and it's
Yeah,
you know
but
what?
it's still like the size of a fucking toaster.
I'm all for Herbie. I'm all for that life as long as the car's not trying to murder me. We're good.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. You know what? Track. Since we had our fun with
good pal,
pet
10,
owner
15, 20 minutes.
stereotypes. All right. What animals could you take in a fight? Or
Yeah,
hear me out.
I can't
I'll
take
do a
anything.
random
Okay.
animal generator. Random animal
Well,
generator.
see, what we need to do is just automatically roll out MZ, Ozzy, and just automatically roll out those two because clearly they're not taking anything in the fight. All right, just one because of Saucy's curse, and then MZ. I don't know.
Right.
I'm too nice.
I'm not gonna put money on MZ.
Wait. What are the staples for this fight? What are the
MZ's too nice to fight animals.
Also, so what? Here's the things. It'll be no weapons, just fist fight.
Yeah, no.
Oh, is this like that one chart where they were talking about Americans versus?
Right,
Yeah,
exactly,
basically.
yeah.
All right, so here we go. Okay. Oh, here's the first animal, a chicken.
I could fuck up a chicken.
I really hope all of y'all could take on a chicken.
Oh yeah.
I already have fucked up a
I
chicken. I'll do
know.
it again.
I've
I
never
know
been
I can
around a
take out a chicken because my great grandfather taught me the helicopter trick. Okay.
Yeah, right.
And you don't know the helicopter trick, and you have chickens. I don't know if you. What would you
I'm
technically
sorry, you
call
say
I don't
you
know.
say helicopter trick and I don't
Yeah,
think
you
about
explain-
chickens.
Explain that to
that?
her.
So I don't know.
I definitely
I
don't
don't
think
know
about
what
chickens.
So I don't know what it is actually called. So I thought it-
MZ.
Did you finally get it?
Oh yeah.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you for somebody getting it.
So when I said the helicopter trick, so my great grandfather and all of them,
Yep.
when they had chickens and they were gonna go grab a chicken and the chicken was being rowdy,
Mhm.
they'd put 2 fingers around the neck, lift the chicken in the air, and pretty much whip it in a circle above until the head popped.
Okay. All
I
right.
don't-
Yep.
I don't know if
Yep.
that's the
Oh,
but
so-
he just called it the helicopter trick because I was a kid. I don't know the
Okay.
technical, what it would technically be called.
Yeah.
Okay, so
basically
okay.
we could all take on a chicken now. Okay, a lemur.
I'm fucking up a lemur.
Yeah,
bro. I'm gonna
yeah.
pick it up by its tail
Yeah.
and smash it into the floor. I'm fucking up a lemur. Fuck you and all your little thumbs, bro. Fuck you and your little fingers, you creepy bitch.
But they,
Like
you wouldn't
King
be able to catch it.
Julian!
You'd have to be able to catch it first.
That's how.
I'll catch
no,
it.
no.
Don't
See,
worry
that's
about
how
me.
Aussie
I'll
was gonna
catch
fight. The lemur's gonna like gently stroke Aussie's cheek in the middle of the night.
God.
He's gonna roll over thinking it's like, fucking Camille. It's like, oh, hey, babe, we just like give a smooch, and all of a sudden it's a fucking lemur just licking her.
I'm gonna like
Yeah.
caress the side of my face and just be like, King Julian.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
King
looks
Julian!
like it. Yeah, definitely could beat up a lemur.
Fuck lemurs, bro.
What else we got?
Oh God, a wolverine.
Yeah,
No,
I don't know.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't
I
think
think
so.
any of us are fucking up a Wolverine.
Yeah, right. I don't
They're
know.
nasty.
I feel like if we were to go in just as we know Wolverines, we'd all die. Unless somebody somehow got like formal Wolverine handling training, and even then that's a shaky 50-50 right there. Like,
We need somebody with the tech.
right? We need someone who knows how to like grab, actually get around a Wolverine to grab its tail or some shit.
Bro, them bitches will just turn around and get you anyway.
Right? They'll just
Anywhere I
like
grab
they'll
it.
just like bend upside down and get you. They'll just pull the
Right.
tower move.
Yeah, it's like I'm not killing it, but it's like it's not leaving with its eyes intact. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I can at least
right?
take its
I'm
eyes.
at least
Yeah.
gonna go down swinging.
Right.
My throat's gonna be ripped out, but it's gonna like at least have a tail missing or something.
Bro, that thing's taking my skin.
The true skinwalker.
Not a person in a bodysuit.
Right? Okay. Yeah, this is a funny one. A camel.
Like, no, absolutely not.
I don't want to be anywhere
no.
near that bit, thank you.
No, I've got this, because all I have to do is make it fall over, because they're fucking stupid, bro. I just make it fall over, break its
Can you
neck.
put? It's like I know you're not pushing it over, but if you, I don't know if you can learn to tripping on something, maybe.
I don't know. Maybe you could do the whole camel tipping trick. Just
Yeah,
like,
right?
bloop.
Like,
I'm gonna just
cow
tip
tipping?
it over and punch the fuck out of it.
I know cow
Take his
tipping,
eyes.
but it could be a specific trick to camel tipping. Is what I'm representing.
Here. How aggressive are camels? Often friendly and are easy to domesticate. Okay. Males can be aggressive during breeding season. Ain't that all of us? And will defend their harem. Okay. So let's just assume this is not during breeding season. It's just a regular ass camel.
Alright, so if it's a baby camel, I'll fuck it up.
Right? At that point, you just simply try to ride it and you'll like snap its back.
Yeah, if it's fresh born, I've got this.
Yeah, if it's an adult camel, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I
no.
don't think any of us are taking that one home.
This list is brutal, bro. You could have at least thrown in like a possum or a raccoon, because I'd fuck up a raccoon.
Okay, well, this one's is a bit vague, so, snake.
which
Fuck up a
snake,
snake.
Yeah,
though?
let's do,
What snake and
I
how
mean-
big is a snake?
let's
Yeah, it depends on-
do, let's do one of the ones that actually would give a proper challenge. Let's do
So like an
retic.
anaconda,
Let's
rock
do a
python, retic. Yeah.
Basically that size range. So one of the big ass ones.
No,
Still fuck it up.
I'm
Stomp
gonna
it
die.
50 times.
We already know that I am just predestined to die first when it comes to anything involving fighting anything.
I'll just do
I
like
mean-
the fucking when King Kong
I
took the
think you're
T-Rex
okay
and like
with
snapped
snake.
his jaw open. That would finish it like that.
I'm gonna just curb
I think I would do okay with a snake.
and then I'm gonna wear it like a trophy.
Knight would end up being able to fight for like 2 minutes and then dying
Yeah, 'cause
afterward.
the asthma would hit her.
Yeah, right.
Thanks when it comes to some stuff. You guys are so mean to me.
You are fine. Don't even.
Like, Nightmare
'Cause
would
I-
like literally get a hardcore asthma attack just trying to lift the snakes like front half.
Yeah, because either
Oh,
something in her body would give out either during or before, or during or after the
Yeah,
struggle.
hands down. Or she'd suddenly be allergic to reach.
I was literally just gonna say, watch her be allergic to snakes.
Thankfully she's not, but like I wouldn't be surprised if she developed a
Oh, yeah.
retic allergy.
That's one thing I know I'm not allergic to. At least I wasn't when I had snakes.
Oh my god.
Then
Okay.
again, you've developed allergies of things that you were not allergic to before.
I know. That's why I'm allergic to kiwis now and shea butter.
Alright, here. Oh my god. Okay, orangutan.
No.
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 Dude,
No,
the
see,
fucking
I'm gonna go
orangutan
into
just like
that.
violate every last one of us.
You're right.
We could 5v1 that motherfucker and he'd still violate us.
Still lose, yeah.
Bro, all
It'd
he
be
has
the
to
same
do is
thing with
slap
a
me in the
fucking
face
gorilla.
One time, I'm walking
Well,
away.
that's because the orangutan wants to be a man like us, okay? I can't.
Like, he wants to ooby doo and be like you know?
You're right.
Imagine him singing that while beating the fuck out.
Yeah, right. Like,
I wanna fight like you, fight like you.
You.
Ooby dooby doo, and he's just like beating us into a fucking pulp, and just like blood everywhere.
It's like going to rip off your
We
leg.
have a
I wanna
trigger
fuck
warning in front of
you.
this episode.
Fuck you.
He rips off one of our legs and beats another one with it.
Gonna mangle you.
Yep. Trigger warnings everywhere. Trigger warnings everywhere.
Like he just wears one of our intestines as a scarf.
You're right.
I don't want to think about this.
Orangutan fashion.
No.
Alright, here we go. Oh, okay, a hedgehog.
Oh,
Hell yeah, bro. I'll just
Okay.
As long
I
as it doesn't
can
have
take
super
that.
speed, I think we'll be okay.
Right?
No, I'll take that in this time.
Yeah,
Hey.
just pick it up and throw it really hard.
Oh, yeah, no, anybody can beat up MC. What are you talking about here?
Yeah, right.
It's not even a question.
You don't even have to throw it. All you gotta do is pick up the hedgehog, put it in water on its back, and just watch it float around.
Yeah, right? At some point, some random creature will probably eat it in the water. Who knows? Okay, this is a bit vague, so I'm just gonna go with the picture that it's showing. A cat, like just a wild cat, but like you know,
A wild cat.
Oh.
Yeah, Austin's mortal enemy.
I mean, technically, yes, she can, but
I can, but I don't want to. Fuck me off.
I
The
think
fruit. It won't even be a wild one. It'll be some bitch down the road that has a domestic cat that they let outdoors. She just decides to fuck me one day.
It would be like, you know, it would be like fucking Stacy's like domestic ass Maine Coon who loves everybody except Aussie. She like lets the Maine Coon outside and just like 20 pounds of cat comes like charging.
I'm telling you, bro. I swear to God, I do not know what it is. Like, if it's something genetically that makes me smell weird to them, if they can like smell the mental illness or something, but they fucking hate me.
Okay, if that's
I've
it,
never done anything to a cat on purpose in my entire life, but they
it has to
fucking
be
hate me.
specific to your mental illness because I am also
You're right.
mentally ill.
It's like my specific like
Imagine,
got
no, here we are. It's the BPD because like cats are the only ones allowed to be
fucking
bipolar.
probably, bro. They're like, you're too much like me. Now you have to die.
Yeah. I'm allowed to be bipolar. You gotta go down, buddy.
Yeah. Only I can change my opinion at the drop of a hat. You violate.
Only I'm allowed to be that sensitive. Thank you.
Only I'm allowed to split on people. Which, like, now I think about it, cats really are a fantastic reputation of PPD. Wait, no, let me
Like
rephrase
slide into it.
that. Yeah, let me rephrase that though. It's not just cats. It's specifically cats that are disrespected in their own home. Are very good representations of PPD.
Yeah, right. Which is like 90% of cats, considering what we do to them.
Yeah,
Tick, you have
so ornamental.
the most disrespect for your
Yeah.
cat.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
This man slapped the fuck. This is just for you, podcast, because everybody else knows it. But this man was asleep, and he slapped the fuck out of his kitten. Who was also asleep. Because he was dreaming about what was it, wasps?
Yeah, because like
Yes.
So he was lying right at my side, like right around my hip, like in perfect range of like my arm, and I was dreaming, and in that dream, just suddenly there was a wasp, and in my dream I went to smack that wasp. And just like in real life, I descended my entire palm down upon my kitten. And I hit him so hard, he actually bounced up in the air for a bit. Cause, like,
Telling me that like you
the
didn't do
bed-
this to your adult cat that could have taken the hit.
You're
but you did
right.
it to the kitten.
In the bed. Chelsea's still cuddling with you in the bed because after Dylan smacked the shit out of OJ, OJ will not go to Dylan's room.
Alright, this is so vague, but fuck it. We're a porpoise. So let's do a bottlenose dolphin.
No.
Yeah.
Nah,
No,
they're a little
no.
fucking ocean rapists. I ain't fucking with them.
I mean, if by some miracle you can drag it out of the water and just watch it dry up to
Yeah,
death, I
right.
mean, I don't see how you're doing any meaningful damage to that thing with your bare hands,
Right.
let alone in its element.
Right? Like, just imagine being in the water and just getting violated by a dolphin in more ways than one.
Right.
It's gonna bounce me around like a fucking ping pong ball,
Right?
bro.
He'll
I'm
just,
not
like,
even
he'll
getting
just
in
do his
water.
dolphin laugh the entire time, like, eee!
No, because that pissed me off so bad. Like, if I was getting dunked on, just bitching and like, nah. The rage I would feel. And I wouldn't even be able to do anything about it. Oh, okay.
Alright, let's see. Oh, man, this list is really against us right now. A panda. I don't know,
No.
Pandas are fucking stupid. I reckon I
The
could
pandas wouldn't do anything. They would just lay
Yeah.
there.
I mean, I feel like if their lives were actually genuinely in danger, they
Right?
would.
They would fucking
do something.
There's been cases where pandas
There's a
actually
limit. I mean,
attack
come
zoo
on.
People, and people at the zoo
Yeah.
are like,
People allow themselves to starve to death.
yeah. Ugh.
Pandas
You
can't
mean like
even
you?
fuck properly, bro.
Right?
Uh,
Pandas would kill themselves before I got around to killing one.
Yeah, I just walk in and it just like self implodes. So
Right?
it's
He
fine.
would just like
I
fall
win.
out of the tree and break his neck.
You're right.
Guess the
So
match is
fucking
over.
dumb every time.
But then
Every
you'd have
time
China
the
coming
pandas
after you,
really
so that'd be
Right.
because you know every panda is owned by China.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, we would lose by default because like we know we'd harm the panda, and then all of China would rain down on us, and then the
Right.
pandas win. So yeah.
Lose by default.
Oh my god, this is horrible. A gorilla.
No, we would.
No.
No.
Just like the orangutan, the gorilla would
Just like the orangutan,
solo
no.
all of us combined.
He did that with one hand too, just chilling,
Right?
sitting on his ass.
Right, he'd be like eating some like fresh foliage in one hand and just like beating us all up and with the other.
No,
Oh,
he's
absolutely.
eating the organs of one of us.
Yeah, right.
And then he's gonna, in his other hand, he will have another one of us, and he'll just use the other one of us to batter the rest of us that are trying to come in.
Jesus Christ.
A mink.
Yes.
I fuck
Like-
up a mink.
Yeah, you can mess up
Fucking
on
catch
me.
it.
Yeah,
Are minks the ones
Their
that kind
butt
of
is
look
no
like
joke, but
ferrets?
you can absolutely overpower me.
yeah.
They kind of look like ferrets.
Basically, they're,
Yeah.
they're like bigger wheels, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I could probably.
Yeah, I could
Handle
do
that.
A mink. I would get scratched up as hell, but I could do a mink.
I think it would probably bite the shit out of me, but I could do it.
Yeah, right. Oh god, a lion. Yeah, no.
No, we're all dead.
I am not taking it. I would not win against a lion.
I just need to know that I'm faster than one of you.
Yeah, right.
Don't worry, Ozzy. I'll die for you.
It's fine. I think Nightmare probably can't run.
Yeah,
so
either
I'll
either
get
either
logic
you're not
to-
or
Yeah.
dying
It might
first.
be
No.
okay.
Alright, so a musk deer.
A musket.
It's one of those
musk
mini
deer.
deer.
I mean,
I
fuck
think I
yeah.
could take
I'll
one.
fuck up.
I mean, you just break its legs.
Yeah, like let's see.
Ow!
Okay, yeah, they're only like
What?
With those.
yeah,
Oh,
they're basically like about
What about-
they're
Go
That,
ahead.
that would be how you would go about it.
yeah, like they're basically about the same height, same shoulder height as a German Shepherd, average German Shepherd.
Yeah, I'll fuck that up, bro.
yeah. I'd say decent chance. Yeah.
Yeah, like here, let me
I'll
send
fist fight
you,
it.
you know, let me send you a little.
I'm gonna rip its tooth out of its head and stab it with it.
Yeah, right.
I like how
Yeah.
I like how I mentioned that you just break its legs, and Ozzy's like, "What?"
Yeah, because I'm over here like killing it ASAP. You're over there
Yeah, like
hobbling it, bro.
torturing
You turned it
it.
into a coffee
Yeah,
table.
like dragging this out.
Look.
God.
Look, I know I am not strong enough to break a neck, but I am definitely strong enough to break a leg.
So you're just gonna break his legs and leave it there like a coffee table, bro? What the fuck?
To save my own ass? Absolutely.
All right,
You know what? Fair enough.
all right, a stallion.
No.
No.
Nope.
Yeah, nobody's winning against the whole stallion. Okay, so
I have had a horse. I have had a horse pick me up by my hoodie and pull me into an electric fence. I don't think so.
okay, here, man. How about if it was you know, kind of like not like a full on mini, but like, you know, sort of like one of the smaller kinds of horses, like, you know, like
Like the one that's like a dog farm?
yeah, kind of think large dog size.
Like the mini cow from the video?
Yeah, sort of.
They're
basically.
still too strong.
That's just too dense to like do any meaningful damage.
Here's the thing.
a lot of
With that
like-
size, with that size, it's not the you know, them trampling or anything. They still bite like a bitch.
Right, like they have the
Mhm.
teeth.
Mhm.
It's a mouth that I'd be scared of.
I think I'd rather get killed by a stallion personally.
It's like the Adobe.
It's like I'd rather be killed by a regular sized horse. Okay, thank you very much.
Right,
Yeah, like first of all, listen, hear me out. First of all, a stallion will kill me faster because a stallion's just gonna beat the shit out of me, whereas a mini pony is just gonna lean on me until I suffocate and bite the shit out of me while I'm suffocating and like
I know you're like
ruin my
kick
spinal
first and
cord.
break your kneecap so you can't run away.
Right.
You're just like stuck
It's a
full
crawling
knee.
away.
It's a full
On top
me.
of that, can you imagine having in your fucking obituary killed by a mini pony? That's not me.
Nothing would be
I
personally
can't let that be me.
personally victimized.
Like, what would be worse is if I survived and then had to admit to other people, yeah, I got fucked up by a miniature pony.
Yeah,
That's why I'm in hospital. That's why I've had complete reconstructive surgery. It's because a small fat horse
It's
fucked
like
with me.
she died how she lived, trying to be the dominant mini.
Yeah,
Oh
right.
god. I think honestly, if I survived that fight, I would kill myself out of embarrassment.
Oh. Alright, let's see. This is easy. A mole.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
got that going back.
You
I
just
would
step on it.
You're right.
Yeah.
Hell,
I like how Tick and I went to the same exact idea.
All you need to do.
right, that or like, like you just pick it up and throw it really hard or something, like.
Just flush it down the toilets, man.
Alright, so Okapi.
That's the one I have face.
Nah, bro, because they're big.
Wait, a what?
Okapi.
Okapi?
It's like those like zebra giraffes.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
Okay, no.
Because like actually, hold on, how big are they actually?
They're
They're bigger
big.
than I
Yeah,
thought
like
they
they're
were.
big, but I forget like how big. Okay, about 8 feet long, 450 to 550 pounds.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. Like you definitely have more of a chance than like the stallion, but
So like
Barely.
about equal to like 6 or 7 Aussies, all right?
I always
Right.
look at, yeah, bro. Like, imagine me trying to fight 6 or 7 of myself. No way.
Alright, a snowy owl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fuck that
Yeah.
owl, bro. I'm picking it up by its wings
Yeah,
and throwing it.
Hollow bones now. Get out of here.
Right.
Hollow
Okay.
bird bones now.
But is it flying at me, or am I going at it?
It's flying.
It's like, and is
I'll
it
fuck up
wearing,
everybody.
and is it wearing a helmet? Doesn't have battle call?
Yeah, right. It doesn't
No,
have
I mean,
it
like-
doesn't have blades or anything. It's just flying. Out
Like, if it's in its element, if it's in its element,
Are you jumping from a plane and fighting it in the air as you're
yeah, right.
falling
Yeah,
down?
yeah, clearly that's the situation we're doing. We're skydiving while fist fighting a snowy owl. Apparently.
no, because I know that they could aim for my eye really easy.
I mean, they do have a hunting, specifics. I can't. My brain doesn't work. Right now.
Again, like, as long as
That's
you
what
can
I'm
see it
saying.
coming, if you can see
Right.
it coming, you're fine.
Yeah, you can just
I mean,
whack
Just punch it out of the air. What do you mean?
it. Right. Right.
Just
So,
let it come close and it's here with a papa.
It's like lightly get clawed up a bit, but not overpowering you.
right.
One of us can actually be coordinated enough to smack it in midair.
Yeah. Right. All right. So a meerkat.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll fuck up a meerkat, bro.
Yeah.
I'll snort that
Yeah,
shit like
right.
it's cocaine.
Bro, you
It's like, sorry, Timon.
You can just take it and just like rip it in half over your head, like go full King Kong or some shit.
It's like Hakuna Matata, bitch.
Ooh, okay, this is a little more balanced. An impala.
I'll fuck up an impala.
If you can catch it, then yeah.
Well, like, I assume in
Like-
this, it's running
again-
at me because we're
Yeah, it's
scrapping.
running at you, like ready to like stab you through with its horns and shit.
Alright, so here's what I'm gonna do, right? Hear me out. This is the tech. I've got this. So it's running at me. It like leans down, because it's gonna try and shank me with its horns, like it's trying to defend its postcode in London or something.
Yep.
So when it gets close enough, I'm gonna grab the horns and then just fucking throw it. But then I'm not gonna let go. It's just gonna break its neck momentum.
Okay,
And then
but are you?
and then I get food.
Okay, but are you coordinated enough, and do you have the timing in order to do that to like grab its horns
Right.
as it gets to you?
Maybe
You
I
confidently
lift
do
weights,
that.
brother. I have to be
No, no,
coordinated
no,
and know how to move.
Okay, this is moving infinitely
Yeah,
faster than the
yeah,
weights
this
you're
is
just
much different
usually
when you're-
lifting every day.
Yeah, when you got
I've
an
got this,
Impala
I've got
coming
this,
at you
I've
at
been to the
50,
dog park.
you know,
Don't
like
worry about
50
me.
to 60 miles an hour.
Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. Worry about yourself. I have the tech. What do you have? Nothing.
Like, I'm bulk, so I could probably keep up with the damn thing at least. I'm bulk, so
All of the jokes I could make.
So, I don't know. I feel it would be a 50-50 for me. Like, either I get really lucky and actually get it by the horns, and then I can wrestle it to the ground and snap its neck, or it's gonna run me through because I timed it wrong.
yeah.
It's like a solid
I could do it.
50-50.
Yeah, it's like it's all in that like initial closing the distance.
Yeah. Oh God, what's it with the fucking ape? Chimpanzee.
But
No.
just all the great apes
Hey,
just come off the
Especially
list.
would it like violate me.
Just keep spinning after it shows something that you know we've already gone over.
A jackal.
I'll fuck up a jackal.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
we can probably take care of that.
They're
Yeah.
more of like an economically sized animal, so
Mm-hmm.
I think they could take a boot to the face.
right. You know, like let's just assume that you kick them really hard and they keep coming back. You just keep kicking. All right. A baboon.
No. Again, just keep
Nope.
just keep spinning.
All right, all right, hold on. Baboon size. Just hold on.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
my
I guess
God.
it would depend on the species. It would
Right.
depend.
Yeah. Okay. So let's
I
go with
literally
olive
just today
baboon.
saw a video
So
of baboons fucking up a leopard, so like, there's no way.
well, that's a gang. Though. We'd be 1v1ing them, thankfully. So all right. So
I ain't
average
even
olive-
winning a 1v1, look at him.
Average olive baboon would be like 22 to 82 pounds for a male.
Oh, what?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that it? I'll fuck him up.
they're-
Fuck him.
Yeah, like then, yeah, and they only stand about like about like 2.3 feet tall, about give or take, while standing. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would have a decent enough chance at a baboon. They got those nasty teeth, but
Yeah, those teeth though. Yeah.
yeah, if I
No,
could
I would
avoid
not.
those and like get out of its grasp enough.
I mean, you're gonna
figure out
die
a
from the
way out of
bacteria afterward for sure.
Like, I don't know. I feel like I might be able to take on a baboon if I did it right.
I think you would have
Yeah.
to do it well, because my only fear to the baboon, because they're not really known for like their strength, like chimpanzees and stuff.
Right.
It's those teeth.
Right, it's those
Yeah.
like nasty, gnarly ass teeth. So like, if I could like
Mhm.
get it and if I could start choking it out, I feel like that's my best route to being a baboon. Like,
I'm just seeing death and bites and
start strangling.
Infection.
Imagine being out on an African safari and you got to fist fight a baboon and you start like strangling the monkey in the middle of the fields and like you just got a bunch of onlookers like watching you and taking pictures.
oh my God.
There's that one dude in the back slowly raising his camera.
Right? As you're like choking out a whole baboon.
Like, just family watching this go down like fucking Ace Ventura. Like, fucking
Right?
Ace Ventura.
Oh, it's giving birth.
Like, oh god.
I haven't seen that movie in ages.
I just see that one clip over and over and over.
Yep.
again.
Yeah, all right,
Timeless.
I get
a
the-
boar.
I get the arrow in the leg.
No.
No, absolutely not.
Definitely not. Those
No.
things get big and they get mean.
Yep.
I've been up close and personal with them more than once. I need my team of dogs.
Yeah,
Very
right.
fun.
Yeah, right. Team of dogs with full doggy body armor.
Yeah.
Fist fighting a boar
No.
and winning. Definitely not. Alright, let's see.
I'm just gonna say like blue whale.
A newt.
Canute.
Shut up. Pick it up and smash it.
Right?
That's just a fucking newt. That's so stupid. What is this list for?
I think it's just a generator.
Yep. Alright, oh my god. Right, I don't know what that is. A wallaroo.
A what?
A wallaroo.
Like a mix between a wallaby and a kangaroo?
I guess.
Kind of. They're like in the middle between size of kangaroos and wallabies.
Yeah, they're like a weird
Yep.
middle ground.
If an adult red male kangaroo is 6 foot tall
Yeah, no.
and a
I'm
wallaby
gonna die.
is like 2.5, then a wallaroo typically should be
Cool.
around 4 feet.
Yeah, let's see here.
They're gonna kick me in the chest and I'm gonna die.
So, let's see. Wallaroo size. Males are 40 to 56 inches long. Females about 30 40. Males weigh anywhere from 50 to 100. Females 40 to 50.
Yeah, I would still get
could
kicked
take
in
a
the chest
female.
and die.
I don't know, because like that's like also a more economically sized kangaroo. I feel like,
Yeah, right.
like I might be able to pull out a win on that. I would just have to avoid the kicks enough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get kicked in the chest. I already have a heart problem. It's gonna kick me in the chest, and my heart valve is just gonna give out because it's already busted as it is. My heart valve's failing. I'm gonna go and just be done.
Alright, well, I take back my initial statement of them being easier because they're not red kangaroos, because now I'm looking at a photo of a male wallaroo.
Yeah, because they are
Beefy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's play closer on that one.
Yeah,
They're
like
muscular.
you know, like I feel like a kangaroo definitely would kick my ass, but like a wallaroo is like it's like one of those debatable ones of like.
I think you're overestimating.
I think I could
I'll
do
take
a
my
wallaroo.
defeat. It's
Yeah, I
fine.
feel like I could pull off a wallaroo if I like did it right. I just need to find out how to do it right in the situation.
Yeah, like be patient.
Easy.
Be careful with
Somehow
it.
get behind it. It can't kick you if you're behind it, right?
Yeah, right. And you just gotta
You
really
gotta,
hope
like,
it
get on
doesn't
its
turn
back.
well. You gotta hope it doesn't have a top tier turn radius.
Fuck trying a red kangaroo, bro.
Right.
T-Rex animation at one point, like
Right.
Just grab the tail.
I'm looking at a picture of red kangaroos right now, like refreshing my traumatized Australian.
Well, yeah, no, I
They
feel
fucked
like
me
I
up,
feel like
bro.
Wallaroo is just the right size where it's like it could be done.
I don't understand, bro. Kangaroos are shaped so weird. Every time I see them, and like, I look at like the copies and shit, I'm like, who made you?
Yep.
Maybe God is real. 'Cause that ain't right.
A Zorilla.
It what?
What?
Gorilla?
It's like a polecat creature of the sorts. It's also known as a striped polecat.
Oh, those.
I
Okay.
have no idea
Yeah.
what the hell you're talking
They
about.
look like skunks.
Yeah,
Or
there's-
are they?
there's-
Oh, I'll fuck that up, bro.
It's a skunk, but not a skunk.
Yeah, they're
What?
Okay.
they're not skunks.
Okay.
MZ,
Yeah,
I need you to imagine like
they got
a
lots of
weird
types.
shaped thing,
In
but with
Manga
skunk picture.
Yeah. No, we definitely.
Oh,
did
so
that.
you just punt them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks stupid. I love them.
It does look stupid.
Right. Right. A kinkajou.
Baby striped poke. Oh. I think I'd do okay with a kinkajou.
Yeah, a kinkajou. Yeah, because like they're fairly sized, but I mean like I feel like I would
Oh, yeah,
definitely get
those.
like scarred
Okay.
up pretty bad, but I feel like I could do a kinkajou.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like I
Yeah.
could do it, but I would also definitely get fucked up in the process.
Yeah, like there would be a huge struggle, and I'd be pretty damaged and need some help, need some recovery. But yeah, no, like I could do a kinkajou.
I
I
think
would also
Kinkajou
never
would be
admit to
doable.
anybody that I'd been fighting with a fucking kinkajou to end up with
Right? Imagine.
Where you got scars from. Yeah, this is when I was fighting a blah blah blah.
Telling
I'd be like,
somebody-
oh, it was a bobcat. Was it
Yeah,
cougar?
totally.
a turkey.
Fucking up a turkey, don't play with me.
Literally, just get water.
Right.
Get water poured over their head.
Well, no, wild turkey though.
Yeah, wild turkeys.
Yeah, which
No,
are
no, get one
significantly
corner.
no contest.
smarter and much more powerful because they can actually fly.
We'll just take a rain shower during the fight, and I'm good. Okay. I sat there in a field watching the turkeys just stare at the sky when it was raining. I was like, they don't really do that. Oh my god, they do. What are they doing?
No,
It's
domestic
not like
turkeys,
the
yeah,
turkey
but
tech.
wild turkeys, they just take shelter.
Is that the turkey tech? They stare at rain.
Like, they was property. They just like stared at the sky. I was like, what the hell are they doing? Because I've never seen a turkey do
some
that.
wrong turkeys then, because the
You're
wild
right.
turkeys definitely don't
Maybe-
do that.
Don't
Guaranteed.
do that, yeah.
These ones
I
just,
went-
I've got pictures. Let me look through the pictures that I
Oh
took.
god.
I will
My
send
bet-
it to you.
My bet is they crossbred at some point.
Yeah, or it could have just
They
been,
could have.
or it
They
could have been a
could have
population
at
of
some
turkeys
point.
that were actually once domesticated and they just like got out. 'Cause
Yeah.
there are
That's
quite
true.
literally
I have no idea.
there are breeds of turkeys that are quite literally look like wild turkeys, but are not. And they're still.
I mean,
treated as
it's
domestic
possible. These,
turkeys. Yeah,
I
'cause
sat there and
know
I watched
I
them.
know for a fact
And I'm
wild
like-
turkeys do not do that. The only reason they would is because they would be doing it just to get water, and at that point, they already know what they're doing. Specifically.
And see, it was so funny because up until that point, and when everyone would say that, I'd be like, that's not a real thing for wild turkeys. It's not a real thing for wild turkeys. And then my family and me sat there and just watched these wild turkeys that are on the acreage out there. We're just sitting there watching them, and I'm just like, and it was only some of them. What was the fun part? Some of them did it.
Yep. Oh my god, I remember one time someone I knew had turkeys, and then the turkeys, like the baby turkeys they were like raising them. Out of 8 turkeys, only 1 survived, and that's because like half of them drowned themselves in like a quarter inch of water.
Yep.
Oh my lord.
And I don't know what happened to the other ones, but they did something stupid, so.
Yeah, but see, these ones, they didn't do the whole, people said they stare at the sky and they open their mouth and they drown.
Yep.
They were just kind of like what is that?
Yep. Probably because they figured out how to get the water from the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And also Texas. They were probably like, oh, it rains here?
Yeah, right?
We're in a drought right now. Oh, just because we were talking about Texas and water. So we're in a drought right now, and I'm driving down the road to get to my house. So it's like 2 turns before you get onto my street.
Mm-hmm.
We're driving, and everyone's yard is like yellow, like dead grass. And there's one house that is watering their lawn in a drought. Even better, because they've got the sprinklers that go in a circle.
Yep.
So their lawn is polka dotted. The water's not reaching all of their lawn.
Amazing.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, alright, here's the next
Okay.
one. A kiwi bird.
I could take
No.
a kiwi.
Yeah, no.
Hey, what?
Get it out of
A
here.
kiwi bird.
I could take a kiwi.
Go over to New Zealand, beat the shit out of a kiwi.
Alright,
No, the
No, I'm
bird
sorry.
form of that
The
food you can't
kiwi-
eat. The bird
Yeah, right?
the kiwi, I would take too much pity on the kiwi, because, when it has to lay an egg, and then the fact that it can't fly, and then my brain automatically goes to that one video of the kiwi attaching all the trees to the side of a cliff and then jumping off.
Okay, but also imagine you like Hulk smash a kiwi and then just egg yolk starts pouring out its ass.
Oh my god.
No!
Why are you like this? Like, why are you like this? Why do you do this to me?
Okay. All right. On that note, where are we on time? Because I'm sure we've gone a little long here.
So let's move on now to the next topic, which is exotic pets.
Smooth transition 101, let me
Yeah,
tell
right.
you.
Yeah. Listen, it doesn't really matter. We're just going on.
I'm on the
topics.
headset now.
Okay, good. Okay, so exotic pets. Now the big thing is obviously since like some of us have technically what are classed as exotic pets. I mean,
Right.
But I guess it's like my big thing is the degree of exotic. Like for example, like tigers, lions, and bears. Oh my, like again.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
pass
stuff
on
that should really only be handled by like professionals, like actual
Yeah.
legit professionals.
right, like
Just should not be household pets. No.
Yeah, no. But things like reasonably sized snakes, like a boa constrictor at best, and then
No,
like
Since we're talking about this, I can have a kinkajou in Texas. I just want you to know.
yeah. Well, I guess you need to get it and fist fight it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It was brought up.
If you don't report back, we'll know you lost.
Yeah, right. Make sure
What
you
was
send
it
a
that
picture-
Shadow wanted that I could have in...
What, a skunk?
A skunk?
Yeah. Shadow
Was it a
wants
skunk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shadow wants a
Yeah.
skunk.
Of course I could have the one in Kentucky.
Mhm.
Shadow was very upset that Shadow could not have a skunk in Texas.
Right. See, and then
I
things
don't
like
know
that,
why she
when it
wants
comes to
one.
Exotics, I don't see the point in them, but I mean, also I'm fine with them because they're not exactly harmful anyway. So I'm like, whatever.
Right.
I can also get a ringtail lemur.
Yeah.
See, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
That, I feel like, needs to be in a zoo.
Yeah. See, I find
So
it funny how
in
like
Texas, you do have to have an exotic animal license, though.
yeah. I
Yeah.
find it
See, that's
funny
where it
how-
really.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
One time, like Chad and I were looking up Nevada laws, and apparently, like she could have just gone out and gotten like a whole ass wolf puppy without like paying paying for a license or permit or anything. Like,
The fuck.
imagine just going out and just buying a whole wolf.
Imagine Shadow going out and buying a whole wolf.
Yeah. Right.
Her current dog already acts up as it is. Her wolf would probably eat her.
Probably.
Kill all her animals and then her.
Right.
Tell you the one that I want to get. Like everyone laughs at me for it, but the one thing that I want to get that is under the exotic animals that I can have is I want a fennec.
Oh, Fennec.
I want a tiny. I want
loud, squeaky.
I want a fennec. I know that's what I want one.
Arr, stop it.
Yeah, to be fair, your
Not being part of the
like,
problem.
the thing is, your animals already walk all over you and like rip up your house. You don't need an animal that naturally will do that just on a whim.
Do that right,
Hey,
100%.
Diana has anxiety issues
Yeah.
when she can't work. If she cannot work, apparently
That doesn't
it's a
excuse the
big deal.
destruction.
You don't need another
Okay, but-
animal doing that.
That
to your
doesn't make-
house.
right.
It's
Wait, no,
already
better
falling
question
apart as
though,
it is.
the exotic thing. Shut up. Anyway, if you could get any exotic
Yeah. So
animal,
anyway, about this other thing.
regardless of financial, shut up. Regardless of financials and laws, if you could get any exotic animal, what would it be?
Yeah, I love this question.
Oh my god! Anyway, if you could get
Yeah.
any exotic animal, regardless of financial status, how much land you have,
Yeah.
and law, what would it be?
I mean, mine's basic, but just because like it would be nice to have it because I know I can't. It would be hard for me to get it here in Maine, but a dwarf caiman would be really cool.
Mm.
They're very economically sized, so it's like
That's like your
Someone
favorite
was selling
one.
theirs on Craigslist in my area not that long ago.
that's hilarious.
And I don't think they're legal here. I forget if
You know what?
Well,
for sure.
I know what exotic pet that I want. I would want a dick.
yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, the little itty bitty deer.
Yeah.
Just so I can have a little bitty deer and I can send pictures to people and go, look at my dick.
And then MZ can come and break its legs.
Only if it was trying to kill me.
All right.
Either that or a binturong because
Oh yeah, yep.
be one of those two would be probably
Would
my.
love a binturong.
Yep. All right. Now we need to hear from the others.
I honestly don't know. There's really nothing I would want enough.
Same.
It's like I'm
trying to
really
think.
I'm so insanely content with just normal sized snakes. There's really nothing else I want.
Don't want anything like real exotic that like maybe
Yeah.
is like endangered and wouldn't be able to be gotten, but it looks cool.
Ah.
Kind of like what are the Borneo earless monitors, for example.
Because like I like monitors, but not enough to the point where I'd want to own one.
Yeah, it's more like something of that nature though, where like they're not really in captivity heavily right now, but
God damn it.
like something that wouldn't be easy for you to acquire on an average day.
Yeah, right.
But
Because like, my mind is like
that would be cool.
my mind was like immediately going to like the large species of snakes, but those are going. You can get those anyway.
Yeah, right. You can kind of just get those off of like Craigslist at this point. So. Someone's selling their like retic for like what is it like 125 or some shit.
Yeah, right. If that.
Right.
Oh God. I don't know. Did you say? Well, no, you said the caiman or whatever.
Yeah, dwarf caiman.
Dwarf caiman. MZ, what did you say?
I don't really have anything.
Yeah.
No, we all know that's a lie. MZ would want a penguin.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No. Okay, I
Eh.
worked at the aquarium for a little over a year.
But if it
I know how.
if it could be the perfect pet, you're telling me that you wouldn't want a fairy?
Okay,
Yeah, like so
I
basically-
love penguins.
So like Austin said, the situation would be like you would have everything you need to provide for it. No money issues, no nothing. It wouldn't have to like live in your house or anything either. Like it could have its own.
I wouldn't have to
equipment.
clean up after it.
Yeah, stuff like that. You'd have like a catered crew to do all that shit. Like imagine that. That.
Yeah, make it
Well,
like
like-
Yeah,
It lives the pampered life.
Yeah.
I mean, if I didn't have to do anything for it and I just could go visit it, of
Yep.
course I'd go with a fucking penguin.
See, would
But
you
if I
get-
had to be like realistic about it, no, there's not really anything that I would want that badly.
Okay, probably a black dragon. But it's probably the farthest I'll go with it.
Right.
Black dragon.
Black dragon.
It's basically an Asian
Monitor,
monitor, but it's a melanistic locality.
Yeah,
I have to Google this.
Yeah, if you know what an
Yeah.
Asian monitor looks like, just imagine that, but
it's
black.
just but black. Yeah,
Like
yeah,
him.
yeah. It's like me. Yeah, no, that's probably the farthest I go with it. Because again, it's just like I like it would be cool to have something that's crazy that's out there, but I don't want to put the work into it. It's just like I'm just not willing to put that much effort into it.
It's like,
I want y'all to know.
Because I'm too practical. I'm too practical.
Right.
I'm just like, no, it's like this is not worth the amount of work that this would need.
So I want you to know, Nick, that this is the first picture that popped up when I Googled a black dragon Asian monitor.
What, the dildo?
I just want you to know that was the very first picture that popped up in my phone.
I feel like that has something to do with you
yeah, right.
and what you Google.
All the other ones are fine. Apparently, this is they have this person particularly apparently posts a bunch of weird it's called Fabulously Weird Trotters, and they have a bunch of like weird poses for these lizards.
Okay. Well then. Again, I feel like that has something to do with your Google history.
You're right. Hey, I tailored to you.
Also,
Even if it,
60%
you know,
of this podcast has just been us talking about us beating the shit out of various animals in some capacity.
Right.
You're the one that brought this up. I just exist here.
It's like, but yeah, like a black dragon monitor lizard. That'd be the farthest I go with it.
Nice.
I think that would be pretty cool. It looks really pretty, at least from the ones that I've seen.
Now, if we were like in like a perfect world, you didn't have to worry about like any like shenanigans, like, behavior, cost dying, costs, whatever. Then like you can absolutely just go nuts with it. Then probably, I don't know. I'd like, yeah, probably. I'd just go full on Komodo. If I didn't have to worry about the venom or tearing me apart, a Komodo dragon, 100%.
Right.
You just give me a full on Komodo dragon.
Right, like if I were
No,
I would just
bacterium.
honestly stick with the Cayman though myself, just because like I don't know,
Mhm.
I definitely would. I definitely like those a lot, but you know that's about it really.
So, should we tell Shadow that Shadow can't have a skunk, but Shadow could possibly have a Zorilla in Texas?
No.
She doesn't need to know what she can have. She
Yeah,
doesn't need to know
She doesn't need anything right now.
anything. She doesn't need anything.
She doesn't need no new puppy either.
Yes, but if I tell Shadow that Shadow can have a Zorilla, that is a $1,500 animal.
Mhm.
That doesn't
Maybe-
matter. She will
maybe-
find a way.
Maybe Shadow will save for it.
No, she won't. She's not saving what she has now.
You're right.
Anyway.
No,
I
we
can
all
try.
know she won't save for shit. She just wants
Mm-mm.
cheap, cheap and easy.
Yep.
Even though cheap never is easy, especially with the dogs he has.
But what would you want, Ozzy?
Yeah.
I think you said. What did you say?
I would get. You know what I really want?
What?
Mm.
Komodo dragon.
Copycat.
Like already chosen. Pick something else.
You're right.
But, like,
Fucking
listen,
copycat.
I have to, because if I don't have a Komodo dragon, then I keep having to open the door to people that knock on it. Whereas if I have a Komodo dragon, I can open the door.
Okay,
one
fair.
time
That is
and die.
fair.
And then the cats in the garden won't be a problem anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
right.
People won't come over unannounced. No,
Mhm.
seriously though, I think I'd probably try. I feel like I'd enjoy having a wolf, but at the same time, I'm
Right.
not the biggest fan of northern breeds, so I'm not really sure how that would compute.
And you would basically be having like the raw form of a northern breed.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like I've seen a couple of my American friends. I've seen like get wolf puppies from ethical breeders and raise
Yeah.
them up along with a pack of domestic dogs, and
Right.
the behaviors are so different. I think what would really fuck me up would be the seasonal sexual aggression.
Right.
Not sexual aggression, you know what I mean? You know, like
Yeah,
the season rolls
yeah.
around and then they
Yeah,
got
right,
really
right,
pissed.
right.
That would fuck me up. I think the fear phases would fuck me up
Right.
even more so. And then the way that they so strictly have an association for people would fuck me up too. Like there's a woman that runs a sanctuary for hybrids.
Yeah.
But all of her wolf dogs love her, except for one, because when she went and picked him up from his abusive background,
Yep.
he was in the middle of a fear period.
Yep.
Mm.
So because she was physically there, and he physically remembers her being there,
During that
he
period, yeah.
associates her with it.
Right.
Despite the fact that she was quite literally there for about 10 minutes to pick him up and leave.
Right. And
That's all it took. And I'm like, that fucks me up, bro.
And considering that's a wolf dog, so when you just think of a
Right.
raw, like a straight up
Full
wolf,
wolf, yeah.
it's gonna be even
Yeah.
more intense, likely. And also,
Yeah, like I
considering
think
that,
I'd
you know,
really struggle with the... Like, if
Yeah.
Behavioral
If I
defense.
upset Harley in any way, like if I accidentally stand on him, or if there's like a miscommunication in what I want versus what he's doing, there are ways that you can kind of like, I guess, apologize to a
Right.
domestic dog. Like they get over it, and then like they
Dogs
do the
forgive
little
easy.
like.
A wolf was probably
Yeah.
gonna remember that shit. Like, you know.
Yeah, no, like I've seen
Mhm.
dogs hold grudges, and I've seen a hybrid hold a grudge. I cannot fucking imagine what would happen
Yeah,
if
a
I
wolf's
accidentally
grudge.
stepped on a wolf's tail one time.
Wolf just like, you know, comes up into the bed in the middle of the night and just smothers you with a pillow.
Mm.
Like the
Here's the thing,
elephant
whining
that
would get rid of
chased
us,
down
Yeah,
a
some people
body.
say that they don't hold grudges. I'm like, have you met some of the animals I know?
Right.
Like Balto 9, The Grudge.
Right. Or like the story about the water buffalo in Africa who like literally not only held a grudge but actively planned out a planned coordinated attack on the hunter who shot
Yep.
it.
I do that buffalo. I remember watching that on like Animal Planet when I was like
Right?
12. It was those, wasn't it that series where it's like I survived
Yeah, I think so.
or
Yeah, yeah. It was
something
the I
along
Survived,
that
yeah.
line?
There's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember seeing that was the place where I saw the those guys that were driving through a chimpanzee sanctuary,
Okay.
and then like something was off about the sanctuary and they couldn't work out what it was, and then it turned out that one of the chimps had basically like brought together a band of other chimps and
Right.
decided to kill every human being they could find.
Right.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Like only two of the guys made it out
Mm-hmm.
because one of their friends got grabbed. They went back to get him. The other guy they were with went to go fight the chimp off. But then when they grabbed their injured friend, and ran off with him, the other guy didn't come back.
Right.
And then when they sent, like, they finally get to hospital or whatever, and authorities go down there and start putting down the chimps, they found that dude across a wide span of land.
Right.
Well then.
Suck, bro, because damn well they beat his ass to death too. There was
Right,
no
they
quick
didn't make
ending
it
for that
quick.
man.
They tortured him. Like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, if I ever had to go to a chimp sanctuary for any reason, I don't know. And I really hope to God there's no reason I ever have to go to a chimp sanctuary.
For real.
Fucking Christ. But like, if some reason I was being forced to go to a whole sanctuary of chimps, I would come strapped.
Yep. Strap the guns, knives, just have that shit at the ready.
Right.
One of the girls I worked with actually worked at a chimp sanctuary
Yep.
down here, and she loved it. I was like, I don't know about that. That sounds a little terrifying. Not
Right?
gonna
It's
lie.
like they could just like turn on a dime and decide to, one day they love you and they're your best friend. Next thing you know, they want to destroy you.
Yeah,
Wasn't
I'm not.
there a woman on TikTok was talking about like it's like they go on Reddit and find stories from Reddit and then do like voiceovers for it while they're playing that fucking coin jumping game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like things like what has happened behind the scenes at zoos or whatever, and there was this woman who worked on a different part of the zoo and then she got moved to the chimp enclosure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She like leaned in a door or something one day because the chimp didn't come to the door.
Yep.
He was waiting for her to lean, but she didn't realize that he was behind the wall
Right.
Ugh.
waiting for her. And the only
Oh,
reason that she didn't
yeah.
get attacked is because another zookeeper saw her start leaning and was like, "Hey, don't do that. He's waiting for you."
Right.
So like they like walked around to a part where they can see, I think it's like through a glass window or something, but she could see him standing right behind that wall waiting for her to stick her arm through the door.
For real, and like the fact that like chimps like just do this on a whim.
Mm.
Yeah, like bro, she's brand new, dude. Like there's no reason other than because he knows she's brand new.
Right. That they would have to do that, and like it's not like the chimp was holding a grudge because she's brand new. So like.
He literally was just like, "Oh, I kind of feel like killing someone today."
Right.
Like me too.
Relatable feeling, but also.
Yeah, like, chimps
I also
got over
just
that,
stand
like,
behind
full-on
walls.
kill switch.
Honestly,
thank you.
but if like people had them as pets the way they have pit bulls as pets, you would have chimpanzee mummies.
Right.
People already own monkeys and try to
Yeah,
do shit
right.
like that.
Never do anything like that. Bobo's such a good boy.
I will never get over that woman that lost her whole face.
Right to the chimp
Yep.
attack.
Yep.
It wasn't even her chimpanzee, it was her
Right.
friend's chimpanzee.
Bro, like, listen, I don't care what it is. Like, I think this should be mandatory. Like, if anyone's gonna own a fucking chimp, not that I think chimps should be owned at this point, but point is, if
Yeah,
anyone's
right,
gonna
yeah.
own a chimp, they have to have a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they should mandatorily
It has to be
ready
food
to
in that house at all
They
times.
should mandatorily be ready to shoot that chimp if they have to.
That whole thing is so fucked. I don't even know when she went over there. Like,
Right.
if you lived next door to me and you told me tomorrow I've got a chimp come over, I would never go to your house again.
Right? I'd be like, no, you're coming.
I would make
you're
sure
coming
all my
to
doors
me,
and windows
but
are
you're
locked,
not
bro.
bringing that chimp.
Yeah, if
I'm
I had a
fucking
fucking chimney, I would block it.
Right?
No, I wouldn't even
Yeah.
open my fucking. I wouldn't even use my garden anymore. I would not chance that shit. I hate chimps. They're so aggressive.
Right?
They're just mean, bro. Like the way that they fucking fight each other and shit. They just rip each
Right.
other apart. They do that shit for fun too. Like they just be vibing, and then one guy goes, "Absolutely not! I'm gonna rip your dick off." And they're like, "Oh,
Right.
we all want to join in." And they start like peeling each other's eyelids and stuff.
Yeah, right?
That's great.
Listen, like they fuck me
Humans,
up.
humans
Remember, like-
are ape prisoner now.
Yeah, right.
You will know life in cage.
Wait, now that we've been talking about owning like exotic animals, I'm actually looking at what exotic animals are for sale in Texas, and
Oh
there
my
is
God.
there is a male red kangaroo available.
Oh
He's
my
4 months
God.
old.
Why?
Nightmare, I'm telling you, it's bigger
I
than
don't
what
want
you
it.
think it is.
No,
Don't
I
do it.
know it is. I know it is. It was just one of those things I was like, oh, speaking of kangaroos, look at that.
Right?
I have too many traumatic experiences with red kangaroos.
There's also a lot more armadillos on here, and I'm like, I don't want leprosy. Thank you very much.
You're right.
Let's keep digging. Little holes in my bag.
I don't need Texas speed bumps. It's fine.
Right. I still remember the one time, the first time I ever saw an armadillo in real life, and it was in Florida, and some poor soul was getting dragged on the ground, holding on to for dear life on the leash of their husky. And at that point, I'm just like, dude, you may as well let it go and let the husky have its way. You're better than getting dragged and humiliated like that.
Yeah, dumb.
So the first time I ever saw an armadillo, I was a dumb child. Let's put it that way. I'm gonna put that out first. So we lived in this little house. Now, when I say little house, it was this tiny little. It was a living room. Then it was combined with the kitchen. There was a bedroom off to the side, and then connected to the kitchen and the living room was steps that went down into a laundry room, and then they went out a back door.
Yeah.
I was outside playing with the Crazy Daisy, and I look over, and I see this creature just kind of like walking along the tree line.
Yep.
And so I'm chasing this thing around the yard. Only for my mom to come out, grab me, and pull me inside because I was chasing an armadillo.
Yep.
And
Nice.
she's like, no, you can get hurt. And I was like, but it looked cute. It made weird sounds.
So that's why you have cats that make weird sounds. It
OJ
all makes sense.
I mean, OJ's the one. He's the weirdest one. He doesn't meow. I don't even know what the sound that escapes that cat is.
Yeah.
It's like tormented souls escaping his body.
Uh-huh. But like, yeah, like with exotics, it's definitely a there's some things that like cross the line, and some things that I'm like, well, you know what, I don't really care. They're not doing anyone any harm, so whatever. But also the main issue is like how many people don't meet their needs despite having all that money to do so, and that's what pisses me off when it comes to exotics.
That gets me. If you have so much money to buy some of these, like I'm looking at the exotic and like the prices on some of them.
Right.
You know, like right now I'm looking at a marmoset. You know, a baby marmoset on average seller on here goes for about $4,600.
Okay, yeah. So like, if someone's got
You can
$4,600 to buy a marmoset, then surely they have the money to set it up properly. Yet they
Right.
half of them, or not even half, like 90% of them don't fucking do it. It's like, come on, people.
Yeah, because we definitely need a lot more regulation. Because when it comes to, okay, can the animal know? Is it a potential like high potential risk to no human life? Is it a potential risk to the environment in whatever no state you're living in?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like they need like have like a lot more like hoops need to go through. Like, okay, you need to not only can you like afford the animal, you need to know you need to sign this contract that you will know handle all its care and needs, as required, like that all the animals needs and whatnot. That you will not skimp on that. And if you violate that contract, that animal will be taken from your possession.
Yeah,
That's what
right.
really needs to happen.
I mean, that's what you're doing when you have an exotic animal license. That's what you're
Yeah.
agreeing to. But it's like, you know, for example, you know, the one time I showed you guys the post that was here that the kangaroo escaped.
Yeah,
Oh
right.
my goodness.
Somewhere in my neighborhood, there is a kangaroo on the
Right.
Yeah, they just need to crack down. It's like, oh, you screw up once, no, animal's gone, taking it from you, because like
Right.
they're just far too lenient with it right now.
Right.
But then they also need to balance it with people that actually know what they're talking about and not people that just pay a lot of money.
Right.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
But yeah,
So I
just
feel
look
like-
at the prices for some of these, and then the fact that they don't get taken care of is.
Right. And you're like, what
I
the
feel like a
hell?
lot of people that do the regulations don't know what they're actually regulating,
Yeah, right.
and that gets frustrating because
That's
it's like,
annoying, too, because like it also means it limits like more general animals sometimes. Like in Maine, for example, there's very strict rulings on specific species of snakes that like, you know, you're like,
Yeah.
how, like, and it's like a case of like, oh, what if they escape? It's like, how are they going to survive the harsh, cold Maine winter? This thing will die the moment it goes under
You're right.
50. Like,
Yeah, 'cause, like it goes back to the whole shit that went down. Was that with like Fish and Wildlife, Fish and Game?
yeah,
Was
it's
that
over in,
last year?
yeah, I think so. It was like Florida mostly or something, or
Is that the
Yeah,
crocodile?
it was mostly in
alligator?
Florida.
yeah, I know they
But, like-
did,
but, like-
I know it was in Florida, and at one point I think it was California was trying to get limitations too.
Uh huh. Yeah, because I thought they were also like trying to do limitations like pretty much just like all across the country and like what.
Yeah, they were.
trying to. It was like I think it was
Yeah.
started in California, and it was like you could only have X amount of cats and dogs. Like what? But I mean, like, don't get me wrong. For the average household, yeah, it was like reasonable. But like, there's definitely people who like absolutely have the resource, time, space, money, etc., to have more than that amount of dogs. But then they would have been limited because of it.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, because it's one thing if you have the resources and the space and you actually have proven that you are responsible enough to take care of that many animals.
Right.
Like, but if not, if you're like in like a fucking little townhouse and you have no 50 some odd cats running around and no 30 some odd dogs and there's fucking animal corpses and piss and shit everywhere, like no.
Right. And then at that point, it's like, oh.
And yes, I have absolutely had. We used to have a neighbor like that back in my
oh,
old neighborhood.
no. Well,
It's like you could smell that shit from down the street.
yep.
Yeah.
It was lovely.
It is. It's
Oh.
like, you know, like on one hand, I kind of get why such limitations would be in tag because of like people like that, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I think it's like a case by case basis that should be taken into account more than anything. Like,
I think that if you have an exotic pet like that and you have a license, I think that because initially when you get your license, they do have, at least here, I don't know about other places,
Yeah.
but here, so if I was to go and get an exotic license so I could get like a fennec or a fox or
yeah,
something of those lines, I have to have an enclosure that meets standards, and somebody will come out and they will
most
check.
And examine-
have that.
check
it,
A lot
yeah.
of people
Sure.
check, yeah.
I think that they should have them check, you know, multiple times a year.
Yeah,
For sure, 100%.
absolutely. They need to have like consistent.
Yeah, because like
checks,
I
not
said,
to
they're way
say-
too lenient. They needed to actually crack down on these rules that they've already set.
right. Because like it's
I mean,
quite literally
I
just,
would
like,
get
you know,
annoyed, but I would get it. Like, oh, you guys were just here 4 months ago. Go
at
away.
the same time as you know, right? Because like it's just making sure that animal's being treated properly and
Mhm.
everything and stuff. And it's like, you know, and at that point, like it's like you said, it's annoying. It's a bit inconvenient, especially if I got shit I got to do. But at that point, I'm like, whatever. It's for the good of the animal. I got into this life. I knew what I was, what was to be expected when getting this animal, including these checks. So like that's on me, And as annoying as it is, I went into getting that exotic animal knowing exactly what I was expecting.
Like I said, I'd be just like, ugh, but at the same time, be like, oh.
Right?
Yeah. Now, if we can only get some extensive regulation on whether a couple is fit to be a parent or not, if we
right.
could please get that going.
That's a whole other exotic pet kind of situation.
We're not gonna compare humans to pets. Thank you.
Not comparing humans to pets, but still,
Yeah, right.
it needs
It's more
regulation.
about
It just needs
regulation,
fucking
yeah.
regulation.
Because my gosh, some of the people who are parents out there.
Should really not be. Oh my god.
Yep.
Roommates.
Yeah. Right.
Oh.
We
'Cause
we
it's-
already know all about that. It's fine.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's like holy cow.
Look,
Yeah.
I can get
Go
an
on a
empty.
300 million year rant about parents.
Right.
hmm
We'll see
Yeah, 'cause, like-
next one. Yeah.
Where are we on time?
We're at 2 hours 2 minutes.
Okay, I think we need to start
Wrap it
that
up.
Yeah.
Yep.
We need to
Wrap it
wrap
up
it.
at this point.
Oh well, so much for keeping it at an hour.
Yeah, right. At
Yeah.
this point, it seems
Was
like
it
a
meant to
couple
be an
hours is
hour?
not- Yeah, well,
It was supposed to be an hour.
that was our like preference. That was kind of more our, like we want to try and keep it around an hour, but
Yeah, but
at this point,
what
it's kind of like
podcast is ever just an hour?
yeah. I mean that is
A lot
fair,
of
too,
them.
like-
Listen to a few that keep it to an hour. Listen
yeah,
to a few that
there's,
keep
there's
it.
some out there, but we definitely talk a lot when we get into it.
But-
So like
People are participating in those podcasts.
right, and not only that, but I mean like the thing is too is like at this point the podcast can fluctuate so heavily to the point where like I'm pretty sure us doing over an hour isn't really a serious issue.
Yeah.
But- all right, well I guess we should close it off then. So.
Ah,
Oh my god, yeah, welcoming guest star Nightmare.
came in late, but she got in.
Yeah, Nightmare, go ahead and
Welcome,
introduce
Wayne.
yourself properly for the crowd.
Is there like a sheet? Am I
No,
supposed
not
to?
really.
And I'm
Just say hi,
Is
your
this like-
name, and like who you are.
It's
whatever.
like
Down
standing in front of the class. Hi, I'm Nightmare.
Yeah, basically.
I like art. There we go. I'm done.
Yeah.
She likes art and she's prone to dying at any given moment. So there you go.
Wait. I've got this.
Do
Hang
not go
on.
on chair. Do not
Wait,
talk about my chair. Do not talk about
Her
my
name's
chair.
Nightmare. She does art as a side job. It's a very good artwork. You should buy some. Her chair is approximately 42 million years old. She has a growing number of cats, apparently, and an equally growing number of allergies.
Yeah.
So her
Actually,
bones don't work sometimes.
yeah, and like a little promotion, but she's gonna actually start a food truck with 13 of the rats in her house. So you
Yep.
should go check it out. Because
Probably leave that part out, maybe.
For
The best-
little
the best food
aprons
trucks
and
are the
little
ones that
like
have the
pans
food-
and shit for the
Well,
rats to use.
The best food trucks are the ones that are like greasy as fuck and have like 13 rats manning the kitchen.
You know what? You know what? You know, they told me for the rats. I feel bad. Dylan almost had a car accident going to work because one of the rats was in the car.
Oh my
Oh my god.
Oh no!
No.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Wow.
So yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well then. So we're
I don't
having a
know
great
anything
time over
about
here.
Dylan except that he's constantly going through it in this house.
That's poor. Like, I feel
Oh
poor
my
man.
Guys.
He's the one that kills most of them. They go into his area from the kitchen, and you can sit there some nights and you just hear snap, 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 snap from all these. I'm like, well, did you get any?
Right. Yeah, you got to get rid of them somehow. Someone's got to do it, and if he has the means to, if he can catch them, then go ahead.
But yeah,
Our
just,
resident
just to
Texan.
clarify with people, I had some really gross
Yeah.
renters and housemates.
Disgusting roommates.
I left for about 3 years for some medical stuff. Came back to smoke damage in the hallway and one of the bedrooms, and a gaping hole in the bathroom floor because there was a water leak that the person in question did not want to tell me about because my mom would have asked him to just replace the pipe, or she would have called somebody to do it. And his exact words were, "Blankety blank blank doesn't do what blankety blank blank doesn't want to do." I'm just not going to say the name. And so I came back to a house infested with rats
Yep.
and roaches.
And it's just kind of, been having that struggle ever since.
Yeah, you
Struggle
know,
bus
when-
life.
right?
It's like, don't
Once-
get
once
me
we
wrong.
start
you know,
finding out-
roaches.
What?
Did you say in
Did you say
roaches?
roaches?
Yeah.
Oh, I've
Yeah.
got rid of
Oh,
roaches.
man.
Roaches,
That
roaches
would
are
kill me
gone.
off so much faster than rats.
Yeah.
The roaches are gone.
Okay.
Oh, so we got one.
I just need to get rid of those rats.
Yeah, and you know what? Diana's killing them off pretty fast. Maybe
Oh,
I'll get
good.
rid of them.
Yeah, now you need to make sure to train your kitten in the art of rat slaying. Get
You're
get
right.
that cage match I keep telling you about.
You know what? One got into my room last night,
Yeah.
and the kittens were what were going after that rat. The rat was the size of these kittens, and they were rabbit kicking it. And then Diana's trying to get into it, and I'm afraid Diana's going to grab one of the kittens.
Yeah, right. We're getting too excited.
So I'm trying to grab the kittens so Diana can grab the. It was a mess.
Right.
Sounds about right.
Uh,
Sounds like a day in a life nightmare.
yeah.
You're right.
So anyway,
So
that's our
But
segment.
wrap
I
this up.
also live out in the country, and they've been building up a lot of houses out here.
Yeah.
And so that's partially why the rats came into the house, is because
Yeah.
a lot of the places they were living
Right.
are
Yep.
no longer there.
Yeah, not that they should really be around there anyway, because technically all those rats are undoubtedly the the Norway rat variety, which means they are actually an
Yeah.
invasive species.
They are very much the Norwegian roofs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
So, yeah, the classic invasive species one that has populated America.
I'll
Fun
come around
times.
and deal with them. I've got this.
No, I have to go.
Yep. Yeah.
Well,
Well,
since-
our next
since I'm rabid.
our next cage match will be Aussie versus 13 stacked rats.
You're right.
Yes. Do it.
They'll like fucking Voltron that shit.
No, see, what we gotta do
Amazing,
now.
though.
What we gotta do now is one day we just have to have a conversation. I will tell you guys every single way that I have tried to kill these rats
Yeah,
and
right.
why I am convinced they are immortal mutants. Okay.
Yeah. Right. These rats are like fucking invincible.
They're eating
Bro, I'm just
Tide
doing
Pods.
it in my
Like they got
house.
into the ooze.
Yeah, they're doing what the humans failed to do.
They are eating Tide Pods and surviving.
Like we said, what the humans failed to do.
Yeah,
I
right.
don't understand.
So anyway, this has been
Yeah.
our podcast
Yeah,
of
this
Yes.
is
chaos.
another episode
Yes.
of Not With That Attitude
Yes,
podcast.
yeah.
We thank you all for coming by, and we shall see you another time. Say goodbye, everyone.
Yes. Yes. Hopefully we'll get our next one out sooner. See y'all next
Hopefully.
time.
Later.
Want some shiny? Hopefully we'll have some shiny new icons ready to go.
Yeah, right.
No, no.
Nudge, nudge, smack, smack.
Yeah, right.
Don't say no to me.
All right.
I'm telling you, but I'm not looking at
Right.
you right now.
Goodbye.
Later.
Bye.